Hello, everybody. Welcome back to both the Blind Press and YouTube and Twitch channels. I almost said the Blind Press and Twitch channels. The Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. Hello, everybody, both places. I hope you're all having a Wow. I almost said a fantabulous instead of fantastic. What the fuck is going on with my words? I literally just started speaking. And my brain is like, nope, we're not going to make sense right now. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try this again. I hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. I'm here to ruin it with some crazy ass videos that will make us all go, what in the great blue fuck? And you can blame Driving Ape for some of these, because he found them and just pulled them up. So some of them I will blame on him, and we will go, what in the hell is this, together. It will be glorious. And then after all of those videos are done and we have traumatized ourselves, I'm going to traumatize myself further because I have signed myself up for an international Mortal Kombat tournament qualifier where I have to play a best of 3 set with somebody that I don't know who it is yet. But the way these work is it's 6 weeks of qualifying gameplay, and you play like 1 match per day, and you can sign up for 3 events a week, and you earn points towards qualifying for the finale event, the top 32, at the end of the hello. It's Julio and Unit 731. Hello. And so I've signed myself up for Rips Arena. So that will be Bonjour. Hello. Do I speak French? Un peu. Un petit peu. Mon français, ce n'est pas beau. Je ne parle pas français pour un long temps. Un long temps. There, see, I spoke some French. I said, hello, I speak a little bit of French. My French is not good. I haven't spoken French in a long time. That's what I just said. For those of you who have no idea what I just said, that's what I said. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am going to get through all these videos, and then I'm going to warm up in ranked matches, and then I'll play my set on Rips Arena, and we will of course, Sniper Wolf is remonetized. Of course she is. Stupid Sniper Wolf. Anyway, I'm going to get myself into, where are all the tabs? Oh, it's open in another window. That's where. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. Whew! Okay. I found them all. We're good. So, I saw a video Asmongold was talking about Wendy's and how they're doing this weird, like, surge pricing thing. So whatever product they have, I guess, more of, they'll upsell, or I don't even know how it works. I'm gonna switch the scenes here. But it sounds stupid. And apparently it's not coming up here to Canada, thank God. But let's take a look at this article. Oh my God. Why surge pricing is not coming to a fast food menu near you. So this says surge pricing is increasingly common, but backlash against Wendy's is just one reason why it isn't good for restaurants. I have no tabs. I do have tabs. How do you say I love you in French? You say je t'aime. I do have tabs. They were just in a different window. I found my tabs. Haha. So, despite the girlish freckles and pigtails on its iconic logo, the fast food giant's innocence was called into question last week after reports circulated that it planned to implement, quote, dynamic pricing. That's what it was. Dynamic pricing. That was the term I heard. A term that usually implies charging more when demand is highest. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a very good idea, considering that a value menu now at most places like Wendy's and McDonald's is like the complete opposite of a value menu. Like a quarter pounder with cheese meal, which used to be on the value menu, used to be the combo, the entire combo, burger, fries, drink. Even if you wanted it super or large sized, was like $9 if you wanted the large size. Okay? It's now like, if you want the large size, it's now like $17, $18. Normal size is $15. How the hell is that a value meal? And now you want to have dynamic pricing? That's absolutely just insane. Well, already a feature of other industries such as air travel, a policy of hiking food prices during the lunch and dinner hours would have been a first for a major restaurant chain. The notion sparked a strong public backlash. No shit. Can you imagine you're trying to get dinner at a fast food place, which is already way more expensive than it used to be, because that used to be the alternative. Like, I'm really tired. I don't want to cook. I have some money. It's cheaper right now. I'm just going to grab a burger and like a burger combo. And now you may as well just go to the grocery store and buy yourself some ground beef and breadcrumbs and make burgers that you can freeze for the same amount of money that you would buy your value meal. So, and then can you imagine you go for dinner, and on top of the fact that it's already $15 for a value meal, can you imagine it's dynamic pricing? So now it's like $22 for a value meal. That would piss me right off. That would just drive me insane. Of course, it was all a big misunderstanding. Wendy Company's chief executive, Kirk Tanner, stepped in to clarify that he was referring to off-peak deals rather than the kind of, quote, surge pricing during high demand periods that customers of the ride-hailing app Uber love to complain about. Well, of course they love to complain about it because it's ridiculous. Surge pricing is absolutely stupid. For Wendy's, it was a well-timed clarification. There are several reasonable justifications from an economic and business perspective for a company to hike prices when demand rises, but fast food restaurants don't convincingly tick the boxes. Considering for the amount of money that they spend having their food shipped in on those food service trucks, they're not getting quality food. First, higher prices can ration demand. The most salient example is Uber. Higher prices during surges periods identify who is willing and able to pay the most for a limited supply of rides. Prices for seats on airlines and at entertainment venues also fluctuate depending on the popularity of the flight or act performing. A slightly less dynamic form is peak versus off-peak tariffs for public services such as trains, which help to allocate scarce capacities. Okay, well, fast food is not any of those things. And I really don't think that pricing higher food that's known to be of lesser quality than you could cook for yourself is not I don't think that's okay. Such dynamics sometimes hurt customers or irk customers sometimes and can even increase inequality, but if someone really wants a particular good or service, this mechanism may increase their likelihood of getting it by pricing out those who value it less. That makes sense. But again, this is fast food. Second, surge pricing can support demand management. Energy networks have reliably inflated simple capacity in the short term, and electricity networks specifically must equate supply and demand in real time by increasing energy prices when weather conditions constrain supply. Dynamic pricing helps to balance the grid. While demand rationing applies, generally, demand management often occurs in public services to support their sustainability, e.g. by avoiding blackouts. Yeah, so that's why we have like the off-peak and on-peak pricing for hydro up here, because it's what's the term I'm looking for? They want to try to minimize the strain on the grid. Yeah, a meal at McDonald's used to, for the family used to cost about $35. Now I pay almost $60, says Driving Ape. Yeah. Tu parles français un petit peu. Oh, you didn't hear? Un petit peu, je ne parle pas français pour un longtemps. Mon français, ce n'est pas beau. So let's see here. Where is... Your favorite fast food restaurant is Chick-fil-A, Julio? I have not had Chick-fil-A. I have never eaten at Chick-fil-A. There's apparently a Chick-fil-A up here now, and every time an American restaurant comes to Canada, they fuck it up. So I'm just not going to try it. So, yeah. Third, a rise in prices can incentivize an increase of supply. This is the most underrated aspect of Uber's surge pricing. Higher price increases the income of drivers, which can bring more of them onto the roads. For example, without dynamic pricing on New Year's Eve, there would be a large shortfall of Ubers and a lot of people standing in the cold. Okay. In the cold outside nightclubs. Holy shit, stop refreshing on me, you stupid thing. I hate this. Why do they do this to me? So, so how would those options apply to Wendy's and other restaurants? I don't think it would. Does Wendy's need to ration demand? Not really. In most cases, a restaurant can just pop a few more burgers on the grill. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to read these without... I'm trying to read this without a... Stupid. For Wendy's could... Oh, sorry. This keeps refreshing and I keep losing my... my place. Okay. Does Wendy's offer a vital public service that requires demand management? Hardly. Hard to argue that one. Yeah, I would say no. I would absolutely say no. They don't have like it's not like a public service. Would higher prices increase supply? Not materially. Barring the... Sorry. It keeps refreshing on me. Barring the introduction... Oh my god! Okay, I'm not reading this anymore. So surge pricing's not coming. Good. This is good. We don't need higher prices. This is a good thing. But this stupid article keeps refreshing on me, so screw that crap. The most politic police video ever recorded. $15,000 lawsuit. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Let's take a listen to this, guys.
You dropped it. Behind you. Right there, you almost stepped on it.
You have to be on the sidewalk.
There's no sidewalk provided. What's your name and badge number? Are you threatening me with arrest?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. In March of 2023, Harvey Freebird was live streaming the Galveston police as they worked a traffic accident.
Got an accident. This lady is in pain.
I guess he...
Harvey kept a safe distance away, recording from the median as emergency crews worked the scene.
It's a little weird, but
this is crazy,
I guess he is allowed.
Oh, I see a motorcycle over there. Oh, that motorcycle looks pretty beat up.
Well, yeah, it's
that thing's
accident,
smashed up good,
dude.
y'all see it?
Why are you filming an accident?
Even the handlebars are all broken.
I hate people like this. Like, people are obviously hurt and upset, and you're there with your fucking camera.
Harvey kept to the median with the other pedestrians for about 10 minutes until the ambulances left.
Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. Yes, it's an ambulance. It's driving away with the hurt people.
With the scene
that
clearing
filming.
up, Harvey started to head out when he saw Sergeant Jeffrey Gaynor and decided to prank the officer.
Oh, really? No, okay. really lackluster, you're gonna... Please tell me you're not gonna be defending this idiot. Pranking the officer. Why would you prank a police officer? They just finished a clearly a violent, like an accident, right? Everybody's probably still got their adrenaline going, and you're gonna prank a police officer.
Maybe that vehicle over there across the street was involved. Hey, you dropped your pocket. You dropped it. Behind you. Right there, you almost stepped on it.
Your pocket? Oh my god. I haven't heard you dropped your pocket since the 4th fucking grade. Seriously, dude? You're pathetic.
Your pocket. Your right pocket. Right behind your foot.
Dude, it's already...
You dropped it.
It's already too fun.
Your pocket.
Hey, sir.
You're being an idiot.
Hey, sir.
You got it.
Can you get out of the median?
You're being an
Can I
absolute
get out of the meeting?
idiot.
What law is that?
Huh?
What law is that? Am I breaking a law?
We're sitting in the middle of a median.
You're
It's on
being
part of a
an
highway,
idiot.
so you have
That's
to get
what
on
you're
the
doing.
sidewalk.
This is a public right of way. You see the telephone poles?
If there's a sidewalk provided, that's the transportation code. You have to be on the sidewalk.
There's no sidewalk provided, so I can be
That's
on the
right
side
there.
of the road. What about the middle of the road?
It's right there.
What's your name and badge number?
Okay. Then
Are you
you're
threatening me
under
with arrest?
Yeah. Put your hands behind your back. I just told you.
I'm not sure I would have arrested him for that, but I definitely would have been annoyed.
Sidewalk provided.
I think they're both...
No, yeah, you can't be in the middle of the road. You have to go to the sidewalk.
You see those light poles right here? That means it's public right of way.
Doesn't mean you can stand in the middle of the driveway.
Oh, turn this
Just
thing
because
up.
it's a
There it
public
is,
driveway.
Here, you want to take that sound? Yeah.
Harvey was arrested for walking in the street and taken to jail. News Now Ninja sent a link of the live stream to
News
Captain
Now
Miguez,
Ninja,
Sergeant
oh
Gaynor
my
supervisor, and after viewing the footage, the captain ordered Harvey's immediate release. He had been unlawfully detained for 40 minutes.
Okay,
Everything I did is
Supervisor
yeah, I wouldn't have arrested him. He was just being an idiot. Like, he was being an annoying idiot. But I would have just been like, get out of here. Just stop. Leave now. Your prank is dumb. Just go away. That, as a cop, that's what I would have done. Arresting him like that, just, like, yes, he was being stupid, right? He was being dumb. He was being childish. But I wouldn't have arrested him.
and after viewing the footage, the captain ordered Harvey's immediate release. He had been unlawfully detained for 40 minutes.
everything I did is public knowledge, and just trying to make sure that we didn't try to make sure that we didn't mess up too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, we all make mistakes. I do it all the time. Just ask my wife.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's a big thing, right? I mean, it happens in law enforcement a lot that you might see somebody make a mistake or head that way, and you're like, hey man, let's think about outcomes before we do this.
I guess that's the sergeant.
Sometimes people
Or
just
the
decide
captain.
to let the process play out.
It's really, really refreshing to see someone do what you did.
Well, I mean, it's just about doing the right thing at the end of the night, and
Yeah, like I said, like, he definitely was being a dumbass, a childish dumbass, but he did not deserve
Really,
to be arrested.
if we're all going to work together and move forward, I mean, we've got to establish trust and ground rules and just kind of
Yeah, you
move together.
you
know?
can't
I think we can do
expect
that
the community
on all
to
fronts. We'll
respect
be able to
you if
overcome
you're
a lot of
gonna
hurdles
react
and
that way to stupidity.
really make everything a lot smoother and have a decrease in incidents like this in the future.
You did order Harvey to be released, right?
Yes.
Okay. And was it you that was in the parking lot to pick him up and take him back to wherever he had been, or was it somebody else?
No, that was Sergeant Doherty. He's the acting lieutenant for that watch right now.
He refused to identify. His name badge was covered up, and he was rude to me, which is a policy violation too.
I've already called
He
his
was rude
supervisor.
to you.
Thank you.
So now I'll just have the supervisor look at the live feed.
Thank you, Doherty. Appreciate it.
This was a shockingly awesome incident for a lot of us. So I really wanted to give praise to those who did right, but again, I wanted to make sure it was okay with you guys because I've genuinely seen a lot.
I feel like the captain did the right thing. The captain saw that this was an overreaction to an idiot. I feel like, though, that the idiot kind of feels like he's been vindicated, and feels now like he can just go around and be stupid with law enforcement, which that's unfortunate, because now because that law enforcement officer couldn't keep his ego in check, he ended up arresting this guy, and now this guy gets, attention, and the officers get a bad rap, and it's bad. It's a bad outcome altogether.
A lot of instances where we've given praise and then that cop ends up in a lot of problems.
If anybody's salty about it, they can come sit down and we can talk. All I did was make sure that we operated within the confines of the law. I didn't remove that officer's discretion to take action. I just directed that the action
be reversed
in line with policy and not, result in the removal of freedom.
Not long after that night, Harvey was filming a DUI investigation
Why
when
are
Sergeant
you
Gaynor
filming
happened
shit?
to arrive on scene.
Why are you filming another accident? What is your thing about filming accidents?
Freaking getting all the evidence they can out of him. He should keep his mouth shut. Uh-oh, here's Gaynor. Please let this be Gaynor. Please let this be Gaynor. Oh my God, it's Gaynor.
Why do you want it to be the guy that you have a problem with? See, this is where I have an issue with this guy. He wants there to be an instigation. Ever since one of the states, I can't remember which one, deemed YouTubers not journalists, these guys have started acting like journalists. Oh, really? You can't fix, to quote the famous Ron White, you can't fix stupid. Nope. Nope, you cannot. You sure can't. And this is evident.
Hey, you dropped your pocket.
Again? Again. Really, dude? The same fucking joke. Oh my God. Yeah, you're smart.
That was him, y'all. That was the pocket loser. Pocket alert.
Yeah, you guys
He
are
arrested me for
hilarious.
walking in the street, and I was standing next to a light pole in the grass. Fucking idiot. And he wonders why people mess with him.
Well, then don't mess with him.
Hey, you gonna arrest me for walking in the street again?
Dude,
Hey, how
why
come that
are you
ticket-
talking to him? He didn't even approach you. Why are you talking to him?
Hey, you gonna arrest me for
Why
walking
are
in the
you
street again?
instigating?
Hey, how come that ticket hadn't been dropped yet?
Why are you talking to him?
Hey, I know you're not gonna show up for court on that ticket, Gaynor. Walking in the street, I was
Seriously, why
standing
are
in the
you
damn
talking
grass
to
next
him?
to a light pole. Save yourself some embarrassment and tear up that ticket, dude.
Save yourself some embarrassment and close
He
your
arrested
mouth.
me for walking in the street. They let me go from jail, but I still have to go to court over the ticket. I was literally standing in a patch of grass like that, light poles all around me, and this fucking asshole gave me a citation. I got a court date. I got to go to court in 5 days. You would think the ticket would disappear,
Go to court
but
and
it's
fight
still
it.
there. This guy's going to stand on it. He's going to stand on the walking in the street ticket. I'm standing in grass. we got another traffic stop over here, y'all.
Yes.
Oh,
Why
they're
are
at your
you
van,
filming?
Bruce.
Why are you
With Bruce's
filming
van.
traffic stops, you weirdo?
Oh, they're leaving.
The officer was likely
I don't
running
like
the tags
this
to
guy.
obtain identifying details of the men filming them. And
You
shortly
don't
after
even
this
know
video,
what they were
Harvey's
doing?
charges were
Likely.
dropped.
Listen.
He went on to file a lawsuit with CJ
Listen to
Grisham
this.
representing Harvey's to obtain identity.
Oh, they're leaving.
Listen.
The officer was likely running the tags to obtain identifying details of the men filming them.
The officer was likely, which means Lackluster has no idea what the officers were doing.
And shortly after this video, Harvey's charges were dropped. He went on to file a lawsuit with CJ Grisham representing him for the unlawful arrest. And upon receiving a demand letter, the city of Galveston settled immediately,
That's just
paying
Lackluster.
over
He's weird, the
$300 a
anti-cop.
minute
Oh, you
for
thought
the
you
joke.
took this off?
I
Oh.
agreed
Oops.
to a settlement for when I told Sergeant Gaynor he dropped his pocket and he got butthurt, put me in handcuffs.
Yeah, you know what? You dropped your intelligence, dude. Let's watch this Audit the Audit video instead, because Audit the Audit is way better. So, corrupt cops arrest pastor. That sounds like a bad idea. Especially if the pastor isn't actually being a creep like most evangelical ones are. So let's take a listen. I think I fixed it.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers disturbing the peace, medical care for arrestees, and excessive force, and is brought to us by Mass Lives channel. Be sure to medical care for arrestees and excessive force.
Okay, so
this episode covers disturbing the peace, medical care for arrestees, and excessive force.
Okay.
By Mass Lives channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Exter. Being organized can have a dramatically beneficial effect on your life, but answer comes in cards and cash, which you can easily access with the press of a button, but it's also made of space-grade 6061 T6 aluminum and is completely RFID-proof, meaning your valuables are secure no matter the environment. The card
just
holder
in
also
case you
want to
launch your wallet into the orbit,
additional card storage, and offers 14 different colors and patterns to fit any style. Exter also makes the Tracker card, which is the perfect add-on for your card holder. The Tracker card is a small card that you can fit into any wallet or card holder that allows it to be tracked from anywhere in the world.
Hey,
right
honey,
now,
you need
can save
that.
Up to 25% off your Extra order when you click on the link in the
you
description
need,
and use code
you need
AUDIT
this
at checkout.
for all
This
your
code won't be active
cards
forever,
and then
so
your
click on the link now
tracker
before it's too
for
late.
where.
Thanks again to Extra
Where's
for
my
sponsoring
shit?
today's episode. On August 25th, 2019, several officers from the City of Worcester Police Department in Massachusetts were called to Cornerstone Bible Baptist Church to speak with Rachel Rizzuti, the daughter of the church's Reverend Joseph Rizzuti Sr., who allegedly failed to return her 11-year-old child following a custodial visit.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So this is already a shit show. We've got a custodial thing going on between daughter and father over father's grandchild. And he's a pastor, and now we've got several officers showing up to the church. Oh, this is going to be good.
According to the Rizzutis, when Ms. Rizzuti asked the officers if they had any paperwork or if she was being detained, Officer Nunez responded in the negative, so Ms. Rizzuti attempted to leave. Additional officers arrived, including Officer Capabianca, and the interaction that followed was captured by body camera footage.
Capabianca.
Who are you? Who are you? Why don't you go inside? You have nothing about it.
Oh, that's my daughter. So okay. Yeah, I do have a lot to do with it. Yeah. Okay, so maybe you don't.
This has nothing to do with you.
Oh boy. Why do they sound? They're from Connecticut. They sound awfully New York.
Done yelling? You done yelling?
Are you done yelling? Acting like a big shot?
We're all set here. You can go inside.
No, you go on.
You're not gonna tell me what to do. You can go inside. You're about to be arrested for disturbing the peace.
Here, tyrant. Let's get
oh my!
Look at this guy. Look at him.
Hey! What are you doing?
Hey!
What are you doing?
Holy shit! Holy shit! That escalated fast. Holy the kids, too. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, in front of the kids, too.
You hurt him. Oh, he tased me and I got my hat.
After Reverend Rizzuti calls the officers quote-unquote tyrants,
Wow.
an officer threatens to charge him with quote-unquote disturbing the peace.
That was insane. That was insane. That escalated way faster than it needed to.
And when Reverend Rizzuti
Wow.
does not comply with his order to go back inside, the officer chases him into the church, throws him to the ground, and tases him. Now, we will discuss the use of force later in the episode, but first, it is important to explore whether the officers had any grounds to arrest or detain Reverend Rizzuti. The Massachusetts so-called disturbing the peace statute, which is found in section 53 of chapter 272 of the Massachusetts General Laws, simply states that, quote, disorderly persons and disturbers of the peace shall, for a first offense, be punished by a fine of not more than $150. As the Massachusetts jury instructions explain, a conviction requires an individual to engage in conduct that most people would find to be unreasonably disruptive, such as making loud and disturbing noise, tumultuous or offensive conduct, hurling objects in a populated area, or threatening, quarreling, fighting, or challenging others to fight. The prohibited conduct also includes, quote, uttering personal insults that amount to fighting words, that is, are so offensive that they are inherently likely to provoke an immediate violent reaction. According to the jury instructions, in order to sustain a conviction for disturbing the peace, the government must not only prove that an individual engaged in prohibited conduct, but that the actions were intentional, not done by accident or mistake, and the individual's conduct actually annoyed or disturbed at least one person.
Other than the police officer. Other than the police, it should say that. It should say, other than the police officer.
Due to the protections given to speech by the First Amendment, the instructions also clarify that the disturbing the peace statute does not apply to offensive and abusive language unless it constitutes, now quoting, profane, libelous, and insulting or fighting words which by their very utterance tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace.
Okay, that's none of those things were spoken by the Reverend. He called them a tyrant because he was told to go back inside while his daughter was being talked to, and like, tyrant isn't a fighting word.
Additionally, as we have discussed before here on ATA, the 1987 Supreme Court case of City of Houston versus Hill established that the First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal criticism and challenge directed at police officers, unless it is, now quoting, likely to produce a clear and present danger of a serious substantive evil that rises far above public inconvenience, annoyance, or unrest.
You can tell a police officer, go fuck yourself. That's also not
in the
arrestable.
1974 case of Lewis versus City of New Orleans,
a smart idea,
that even the so-called fighting words exception to the First Amendment might require a narrower application in cases involving a police officer, because, now quoting, a properly trained officer may reasonably be expected to exercise a higher degree of restraint than the average citizen, and thus be less likely to respond belligerently to fighting words. Therefore, it is highly unlikely that a court would conclude that Reverend Rizzuti...
That is true. Since his daughter's an adult, yes, that is true. Driving ape makes a good point. He should have been told to go inside. Unless his daughter's a minor, he has no bearing on the situation except to be an annoyance. Which, you know what? That is a good point. That is a very good point, and I should have thought of that.
These statements, as captured on the body camera footage, exceeded First Amendment protections, although it is possible that he engaged in additional conduct or speech before the footage began that did constitute disturbing the peace.
You guys need to get back up. Get out of that space and back up.
Just record it. Oh, you tased me. Get the state cops here.
That poor kid. That poor fucking kid. Had the grandfather just gone inside, that wouldn't have happened. Holy fuck, my ears. Wow.
What's wrong with you people? These guys are tyrants. Stop moving on the ground now. Let go of me. What's wrong with you? He's a tyrant. I'm resisting you.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're not making this easier for yourself. Just stop screaming. Yes, it's one of those because you have the right doesn't mean you should exercise the right situations. Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
You're on the ground. Get on the ground. Stop moving.
Jesus, dude, stop screaming.
Listen, buddy. Let go of me. I'm gonna sue the out of you, so you know. This guy's been hitting me, kicking me. Yeah, I'm gonna sue the crap out of him. You like that, huh? Man. I just asked you to get off my wrist, man. Get this guy's name right here, Capabianca. Yeah. Everybody, get this stuff. All because they're trying to bully one of our church members and steal their child. We'll just sue him, that's all.
What the fuck?
He didn't do nothing.
Bully one of our church members and steal their child.
This cop right here punched me right in the face. I know. Don't be punching us. Shut your mouth. You need to back away from us. We're not animals. What am I arrested for? Yeah, exactly. Come on, what did I get arrested for? Get the supervisor here now.
Why does this sound like a church full of the Wahlbergs? This literally sounds like the Wahlbergs are being what am I arrested for?
I can't even believe what these guys just did in this church house.
Yeah, we need to get him up and then him. Which one do you want to get up first? They can get both. We have enough guys now.
Are you kidding me?
How? We got enough guys now.
Make sure my wife gets checked out because she's pregnant and this cop tackled her.
Joseph Rizzuti Jr., the son of Reverend Rizzuti and a pastor at the church, asks one of the officers to get his wife, Carissa Rizzuti, quote-unquote, checked out because she's pregnant and an officer tackled her. A lawsuit the Rizzutis filed after this encounter claims that an EMT who responded to the church location refused to provide medical care to Ms. Rizzuti, allegedly telling her that he was there to treat officers and that he would not examine her because she hit an officer.
What the fuck? If that's true, that is insane. EMS is there to help, like, everybody on scene that's hurt.
The complaint also alleges that Ms. Rizzuti was never given medical treatment and that after her arrest, she lay on the cell floor for hours without receiving any medical attention. In the 1983 case of Revere versus Massachusetts General Hospital, the Supreme Court held that the 14th Amendment requires the government to, quote, provide medical care to persons who have been injured while being apprehended by the police. The court also concluded that although the 8th Amendment's prohibition on cruel and unusual punishments applied only to convicted prisoners and not to pre-trial detainees, the due process rights of an individual in this situation, now quoting, are at least as great as the 8th Amendment protections available to a convicted prisoner. As the First Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over
Massachusetts... Just because there aren't any protections doesn't mean you shouldn't just assume that you shouldn't just treat them as though they had protections. It's explained in the 2016 case of Miranda Rivera versus Toledo Davila, quote, government officials violate the 8th Amendment if they display deliberate indifference to a prisoner's serious medical needs. A serious medical need is one that has been diagnosed by a physician as mandating treatment, or one that is so obvious that even a lay person would easily recognize the necessity for a doctor's attention. You know, like a pregnant woman. Or someone having a seizure.
Similarly, as the First Circuit noted in the 2001 case of Kosha versus Town of Pembroke, so-called deliberate indifference may also consist of, now quoting, showing a conscious failure to provide medical services where they would be reasonably appropriate. Here, the officers were informed multiple times that Ms. Rizzuti was pregnant and that she was only at the 3-month mark, which would arguably be an obvious risk to a layperson and likely constitute a situation where medical services would be reasonably appropriate. Therefore, if the allegations in the lawsuit complaint are true, Ms. Rizzuti would have a legitimate argument that the state failed to provide her with medical care as required by the 14th Amendment.
Absolutely she would.
Beaten up by the Worcester police. This guy right here.
You have an ID on you?
No, I don't. You got one on you?
I drive stunt. He got drive stunt in the back. Does he You have to go with him? No, just want to check him out. You know, you
wait for him to cool off for a minute.
Yeah.
My name's Joe, Reverend Joe Rizzuti. I don't consent you to go in my pocket. You don't care what I say.
You're under arrest. We're going to search
you.
You
Get away from me. Okay? You get away from me.
No,
this
you're
guy
under
was
arrest.
assaulted.
All right.
I'm your arrest.
Yeah.
Oh, am I? You get away
Oh,
from
come
me. You've
on.
already assaulted me. Assaulted me, tased me.
Don't
laying in the
chest
back of
up
my
like
church,
that.
this
That's
guy.
not gonna
Imagine that.
help anything.
All because he was asked a simple question. Tased me, you knocked me to the ground, and this guy's pulling my pants down.
Reverend Rizzuti criticizes the officers for their use of force against him. The body camera footage shows that the officers chased Reverend Rizzuti through the church before throwing him to the ground and tasing him.
Yeah,
The
why
complaint
would
filed
you
by the
chase
Rizzutis
him?
also alleges that the officers struck Reverend and Pastor Rizzuti with closed fists, and that Carissa Rizzuti was thrown to the floor, where officers stepped on her stomach and back, although the body camera footage does not depict all of these actions.
I was gonna say, they would be dead to rights if it showed that. They would be absolutely dead to rights if the body cam footage actually showed officers standing on a pregnant woman. Holy fuck.
According to the Worcester Police Department's use of force policy, quote, "It is the policy of the Worcester Police Department that an officer's force response be objectively reasonable and account for the
that's not
officer's
objectively
perception of the
reasonable.
risk/threat
Any of
presented
that.
by a subject, as well as the officer's perception of the subject's actions."
Like, I was watching this as a complete lay person, right? I didn't think that the Reverend was acting a little bit macho, right? But the cop had I even said, holy shit, that escalated quickly. Because it did. It was just 0 to 60 in 1 second.
The policy also states that, now quoting again, "Officers shall not use physical force upon another unless de-escalation tactics have been attempted and failed or are not feasible based on the totality
None
of the
of that
circumstances."
had happened.
And, drawing
There
on
was
principles
no
established
attempt
in the
at
1989 case of
de-escalation.
Graham versus Connor, that an officer may use that level of non-deadly force that is objectively reasonable to effect an arrest, protect the officer or another from physical harm, restrain or subdue
None
a
of
resistant
that was
subject,
happening
and
either.
or bring an unlawful situation safely and effectively under control.
There was no worry, there was no fear of imminent danger to the officer. They were just using words with each other.
Now, in this situation, the officers did not state that the Rizzutis were under arrest, although they did appear to be attempting to arrest at least Reverend Rizzuti when the use of force began. And while Reverend Rizzuti was verbally challenging the officers, there was no reason to believe that the Rizzutis posed a threat of physical harm to the officers or other individuals in the
absolutely not.
area, at least at the time the physical force was initiated.
Ha!
Likewise,
Hey,
the body camera
Satsu!
footage does not show the Rizzutis.
What's all this about strap-ons? Oh, we're watching a whole bunch of crazy shit before I start playing Mortal Kombat later on. And so right now we're watching an Audit the Audit video, and then we're gonna move on to other insane things. But we're strapping in for the ride.
Rizzutis resisting any lawful orders, and, assuming that the allegations in the complaint are true, the Rizzutis were not creating an unlawful situation, because Officer Nunez had already informed Rachel Rizzuti that he did not have any paperwork and she was not under arrest. Therefore, a court could find that the amount of force the officers used was both a violation of Worcester PD policy and constitutionally excessive.
No
although it is
shit.
difficult to give a conclusive opinion given the chaotic and incomplete nature of the
That's
body
an
cam footage.
understatement.
Furthermore, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court held in the 1983 case of Commonwealth versus Modera that although individuals do not have the general right to resist unlawful arrest under state law, quote, where the officer uses excessive or unnecessary force to subdue the arrestee, regardless of whether the arrest is lawful or unlawful, the arrestee may defend himself by employing such force as reasonably appears to be necessary.
Yeah, you can't be expected if the cop is doing what he just did, chasing you down, throwing you to the floor and shit. You cannot just be expected to lay there like a rag doll.
Now, in that situation, the court concluded that an arrestee may defend himself by employing the degree of force that reasonably appears to be necessary under the circumstances. As such, the Rizzutis would be able to argue that they were acting in self-defense
you watch
against
these
excessive
often? Yeah,
force
they're
from
good.
the officers if they were to be charged with resistance.
They're good, Satsu. We like
They're
them
waiting for him
too.
to calm down. They're waiting for him to calm down.
I like my money clip and my money back. We'll take care of that.
Right?
Look at these
Can I
guys.
have
You
my
guys got
cash
this on
back?
video? taking all my stuff out of my pockets, my money, my money clip, everything.
Your whole behavior, all on video. All your behavior. That's how that works. Don't worry about it.
All your behavior. Yeah, what about your
really?
behavior,
Shut my mouth.
dude?
Did they prevent you from getting the kid? I wasn't here for like I said.
What about your
There was a lot we were trying
behavior?
to get to there, and he kept interfering, and he wouldn't calm down. He kept causing the scene, and he ran. Where'd you get, where you got tased? I have no idea. He got tased right in the middle back here. Sorry. Can I just look at it? Is that all right? Relax. I gotta check you out. Right here. All right, we're good. All right, you all set to go to the wagon. Let's go.
That was a quick checkout.
All right, you all set to go to the wagon. Let's go.
Here's you to check you out. Yeah, you're good. Go to the wagon. Like, that was like 30 seconds. What the fuck? What the fuck?
This guy here. Okay. Let me find. I don't know what the other got going on, but thank you.
They did all this in front of him.
I'm good here. They just need a card for the other guy. All right, guys, we're good. Thank you.
You're going to the police station. You gotta bail us out. You got Joey's credit card. I'm getting arrested you.
Reverend Rizzuti was
Wow.
charged with assault and battery
All
on a
three
police
of them.
officer, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and interference with a police
dangerous
investigation.
weapon?
And Pastor Rizzuti was charged with interference with a police investigation and resisting arrest. The resisting arrest charges against both men were dismissed prior to trial, and a judge acquitted them of all other charges after a bench trial.
Good.
Carissa Rizzuti was charged with interference with a police investigation, which was also dismissed, and Rachel Rizzuti was charged with several offenses, including a kidnapping charge.
What
the kidnapping charge was later dismissed, and the other charges against her were decriminalized. On August 23rd, 2022,
Jesus
the Rizzutis filed a
Christ.
federal lawsuit against officers Nunez and
What a
Capabianca,
shit
along
show.
with several other officers and Worcester government officials for unreasonable force, assault and battery,
No
conspiracy,
kidding.
malicious prosecution, intentional
I would,
infliction of emotional
I would
distress, and
be
other
suing
federal
for
claims.
enough to
The
live
complaint alleges
comfortably
that
for
in
the rest
addition
of
to
my
the
life.
physical injuries sustained during the altercation,
Holy
Pastor
fuck.
Rizzuti's son, along with the other family members, were traumatized by this event. The complaint also includes allegations of a pattern of misconduct by the Worcester Police Department. As of the date of writing this episode, the lawsuit is still pending. On November 15th,
Well, I hope they
2022,
win.
the DOJ announced it would be launching a civil investigation into the Worcester Police Department to assess whether the department engages in a pattern or practice of excessive force or
Oh,
engages
fuck.
in discriminatory policing
Now
based
you've
on
done
race
it.
or
The
sex.
Department of
According
Justice
to a
is
press
looking
release
at you.
issued by the DOJ, the investigation will include a comprehensive review of policies, procedures, trainings, investigatory files, and data, as well as an examination of the department's systems of accountability, including its systems to address misconduct complaints and discipline, and an evaluation of how WPD officers interact with the public, collect evidence, and complete investigations. Overall,
Well,
the
good.
Worcester officers get an
'Cause
F for
it
utterly
sounds like
failing
they
to
need
de-escalate
a
a
complete
contentious
audit
situation,
of their
using
department.
excessive and unnecessary force against the Rizzutis, and seemingly pursuing inflated criminal charges against the family and against Reverend Rizzuti in particular. Now, although I cannot speak to the
Yeah,
validity
what
of
was
all
with all
of the
those trumped up
allegations and the complaint
charges?
for the Rizzutis lawsuit, it is clear even from the limited portions of the interaction that was captured on body camera that the officers used more force than was necessary to resolve a
They
non-criminal
had a
situation.
mission that they were on some weird takedown mission.
And
I don't know
as
what
the
the
Rizzutis
fuck
were
it
acquitted
was.
of all criminal charges,
But
and the DOJ is
this was
currently
insane.
investigating the Worcester Police Department for
The
repeated
amount of
instances of excessive
violence
force,
they
I am
used.
inclined to believe that at least a good portion of the Rizzutis' claims are accurate. I truly hope that the DOJ investigation yields accurate and actionable results that can be
Agreed.
transformed into meaningful change for this police department, including appropriate disciplinary action against transgressing officers, so that we do not see these same officers involved in another encounter like this one in the future.
No kidding. There could have been serious bodily injuries.
As for the Rizzutis, I cannot assign an accurate grade based on the body camera footage,
No.
as it did not capture the family's interactions with the officers when they first arrived on the scene, nor did it clearly record most of Pastor Rizzutis and Ms. Rizzutis' actions.
No,
What I can say
it
for
didn't.
certain
And
is that
it
the
didn't
Rizzutis
clearly
appear to
record the
remain within their
sounds,
First Amendment rights
or
in their
the
criticism
words
of the
used
officers'
either.
conduct. And while Reverend Rizzuti would likely have been in a better position had he not run run through the church in an attempt to escape the officers, I understand why he acted out of fear towards the officers' aggressiveness. I commend the Rizzutis for successfully fighting the criminal charges against them, being willing to speak out publicly against the way the Worcester Police Department treated them, and taking appropriate legal action to pursue accountability for any violations of their civil rights that may have occurred.
Good for them.
Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.
The Villains, that's a good channel too. I've watched some videos from there as well. But what a wonderful, interesting video about the pastor and his family. It's true, Satsu. The accountability that exists in basically anywhere these days, it's if you look at any category of job, there's nobody wants to take accountability. And where it really matters in the justice system, there's just such a lack of holding anybody to accountable, like especially when it comes to higher places of authority. It's terrifying. So here we are. This is a court case. We're starting in the second court case. The first one was kind of boring, so we're just gonna start here. So this is a sovereign citizen and a stupid come to court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. All right.
Ms. Meyer, what time did you show up for court today?
Like 9:02.
Say that again?
Like 9:02. I barely made it.
She's been here this whole time, Deputy?
Yes, she's been here.
All right. Mr. Patterson, how does your client wish to proceed?
Your Honor, I would announce at this time pursuant to plea negotiations in 23 CR 3058, she is going to enter a plea of guilty to interference as well as possession of paraphernalia. States agreed to dismiss count 3, disorderly conduct, as well as dismiss 22 TR 4156.
Okay, dismiss
So
the 4156
possessing paraphernalia
with
and
or without?
interference.
With, Your Honor.
Okay, and then on the other case, guilty to count 1 interference and count 2 para, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dismiss any remaining counts, okay. So Ms. Meyer, is that your plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead then in 23 CR 300058 to count 1, interference with law enforcement?
Guilty.
Is anyone
She's
making you enter this
guilty.
plea of guilty by any threats or promises?
No, ma'am.
Plead in count 2, possession of paraphernalia? How do you plead it? Do you plead guilty in both counts, interference and possession of paraphernalia? You understand if I accept your pleas, there'll be no trial. You'll be found guilty and unable to appeal the conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
Trying not to be worried about. Oh, trying not to be worried about the judge's glasses.
what happened on December 4th, 2023 that, in your own words, would make you guilty of interference with a law enforcement officer?
I refused to be arrested.
You
Yeah,
refused
that-
to be
that'll be-
arrested?
that'll do
What
it.
Behavior did you have as you
Interfering with the officer, yeah,
refused
refusing to be
my
arrested.
first, fourth,
That'll do it.
5th, and 11th Amendment.
I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. Can you say that again, please?
I just applied like amendments. I walked away, really. That's all that I did, and continued about my day. Like,
You walked
So you
away
said
from
you
the.
You used your 3rd and 4th amendments?
The 1st, 4th, 5th, and 11th Amendment. Yeah.
First, fourth,
Which
5th, and
amendments are those
11th.
that you're referring to?
I'm unsure.
Judge
And
Watson is
Judge, if I
wonderful.
may
I like
help,
her.
I would tell the court that as a factual basis, what she would tell the court is that the police officers had directed her to turn around, place her hands behind her back, and that she was being placed under arrest, that she did not physically follow along with their directions and in fact was resisting some So that
Isn't
that would qualify as the interference that she's pleading guilty
The
to.
lawyer has to coach her on how to
Very
plead
good,
guilty.
but I want to know what her understanding of these amendments are as to what she did when she.
My rights as an American to be free.
That's not. No, you can't just say that in regards to, let's see, first, fourth, fifth, 4 amendments to the Constitution. You can't just go, it means my rights to be free as an American. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, but you said you applied your 3rd amendment. What did you do?
No, my 1st, 4th, 5th, and 11th amendment.
1st, 4th.
That's all that I said. I said I'm applying my 1st, my 4th, 5th, and 11th amendment.
Okay, and what's
like my rights to be free?
What's the 1st amendment that you're citing? Can you tell me what it is?
No, I cannot. I have it written down somewhere in a notebook. I know.
Wait, you don't even know what you don't even know the most glib definitions of the amendments you're applying to yourself. You have them written down in a notebook somewhere, and you don't even have it. Oh my God!
I had my notebook
so
on
you
me.
don't know what the
I
1st
was
amendment
ready,
is?
not off the top of my head.
And
But I have it in a notebook that I had on me that day, and I was ready to read them to him. He said I was being arrested for disorderly conduct.
Dan
What's the
Patterson
point?
has the patience of a saint the way he handles these public defenses. Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our descent into trauma. Yes, we have.
4th amendment, if you know.
It's
I
in
don't
my
know.
notebook, ma'am. I'm not
You know the
educated.
5th? You know the 5th?
Ma'am?
Damn,
the
this
Fifth
chick ain't
Amendment
that
that
bright,
you
huh?
used?
No,
I know
she
that
isn't.
I have it written down, and I had them prepared to state to him.
Then
All
why
right, so
didn't
I
you
presume
bring
you
it?
You don't know the 11th amendment either. Do you? Can you tell me what the 11th amendment is that you were using on the officer that day?
My rights as an American to be
That's
free
not what.
and freedom of speech. I know that they all have.
That's the
something.
11th amendment?
Pretty sure it actually has something to do with like my rights to be a parent.
Your right to be a parent? What? Your right to be a She said that, right?
Sure, it actually has something to do with like my rights to be a parent.
Yeah, that's what she said. My rights to be a parent. That's what she just said. My rights to be a parent. Her intelligence has relinquished the right to be a parent. Yeah, no shit. Holy fuck. What the hell?
To be a what?
To be a parent, like it has something to do with like my parental rights.
Okay.
Judge Watson's like, yeah, sure. Whatever, dude. You're an idiot.
So you had some. You think you had these amendments written in a notebook, and you
I
were
have them
going
written
to
in a
read them
notebook.
to him, but you were going to read them to the officer, but you didn't.
He didn't give me a chance. It was him.
Well,
and, like,
no
2 other
shit.
officers that came and.
They're not gonna give you a
So it's
chance, you
around
dumb
because I
bitch.
walked away because he did not have any reason to necessarily arrest me. He drove.
Wait, you walked away because they didn't give you a chance to read from your notebook? And they continued to try to arrest you? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck?
Drove past me and then did a U-turn and then blocked me off.
Yeah, that's what he didn't
Okay.
drive past
So do
you
you
as
agree
if he
that
was
you did
gonna
what your
leave.
attorney
He
said you did?
specifically drove
Yep.
past you to
I'm
block
guilty.
you off, dummy.
Okay.
Holy
And did
fuck.
you have some drug paraphernalia at the time?
Yes, I did.
What'd you have?
I am unsure what they found in my bag, but I know that I had paraphernalia on me.
You don't know what it was, but you know you had it. You're not doing a very good job of pleading guilty.
Yes, I did.
What'd you have?
I am unsure what they found in my bag, but I know that I had paraphernalia on me.
These were items you were going to use to ingest or inhale some illegal substances?
It was like at the bottom of my bag. I was not high the day
So?
that they arrested me.
Okay.
Glass pipe, Your Honor.
Well, oh, a glass pipe? Okay.
Yes.
A pipe that you'd use to smoke what? Marijuana? Meth?
I don't know.
I
Some
don't
kind of
know.
illegal drug?
You don't know what kind of pipe you had. Whether it was a crack pipe or a bowl, you don't know. Really? You don't know?
Yep, some sort of illegal drug.
Okay. Controlled substance. All right. I'll accept the pleas and find you guilty.
I'll
dismiss
accept the
remaining
pleas even though you have no idea what
and
you're
the other
talking about.
case. Recommendations for sentencing?
In count one, the state would recommend a fine of $100, a 6-month underlying suspended for a 12-month non-reporting probation, and in count two, a $50 fine, 30-day underlying to be run concurrent to count one, suspended for a 12-month non-reporting, as well as any cost or fees.
Anything further, Mr. Patterson?
I would say no.
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Miss Meyer, where do you work?
I'm working for.
Okay.
We set up outside of like Lowe's and like Outwoods and stuff like that.
Sure. And is this like 40 hours a week, full time?
I would say more like 30, like a part-time.
Okay.
Part-time
I am going
job,
to
okay.
waive attorney fees, but on count one, the interference, your fine is $100 and your sentence is 6 months in the county jail, but I will suspend that. Count two, the drug paraphernalia will be a $50 fine.
So $150 in
$30-day
fines.
jail sentence suspended.
Lucky
You will
you.
pay $158
No jail
in
for
court
you.
costs and $60 supervision fee. You will be on a reporting 12-month probation.
Haha.
Call court services or go by there as soon as this hearing is over, although they're probably closed until 1 or 1:30. But you must report to them today. I'm ordering all standard conditions of probation. I wish you success on this case. Please do what you're told so you don't have to come back and see me again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
There you go. And as we are in recess.
Also, understand your goddamn amendments. Okay, we're gonna go to the Be Right Back screen real quick so that I can go get more coffee and go have a bathroom break. So I will be right back and I'll put up some music for you and I will join back. I will be right here in a moment. Okay. We're back. And now, Satsu says it sounds like the judge is letting her off easy because she's an idiot. Yeah. It does. The children of OnlyFans mothers. Oh boy. This'll be interesting. Holy shit, this is long. Okay.
And together. Crying. Yeah, yes, here we are again together. Crying inside. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by me and my new company, Lions Tea Exchange, which if you haven't checked out, you definitely should, because the tea is great and you'll love it, and it's linked in the description box. Now, if you have been here for any length of time orbiting this planet of insanity and sadness, you will already be aware that I have covered the topic of OnlyFans a bunch on this channel. But what I have never discussed, at least in detail, is the effect that this is having and potentially going to have going forward on children whose parents make adult content.
Okay, now here's the thing. Children of parents who make adult content. The only problem if you have kids and you make adult content is if you feel the need to flaunt the fact that you make adult content. Right? Because there is a way to make adult content and not, like, traumatize your children. And, you know, and you know what? It may also hamper it may hamper your growth in your content creation. But you know what? I would rather that than actually be like those OnlyFans moms that you see with their freaking decal on their car in the drop-off line at school.
Because I'm sure this issue is going to be really fun for everyone going forward. As OnlyFans continues to gain traction and popularity, as more and more women seem to view this platform as a legitimate means of making a decent income, it seems that there will inevitably be consequences for families. Now, what specifically made me want to talk about this issue was a post I saw on Reddit not too long ago. Not counting for the fact that Reddit is the internet's butt. A woman asked the subreddit, am I the a-hole, if she is in fact the a-hole for continuing to stream and post content on OnlyFans, Kick, and Twitch while her son is being bullied for it. Yeah, probably. In the post...
Okay, so why is your son being bullied for it? How do his friends know about it? And what kind of content are you putting out on Kick and Twitch? Those are public, unpaid for platforms, so people don't have to pay you to see. So what are you putting out there that's causing your son to get bullied?
The mother says that she is a single parent who has been using platforms like OnlyFans and Twitch for income, netting way more than she's ever earned in any other job. However, despite the financial payoff, her 14-year-old son told her he is being teased by his classmates because of his mother's content, leaving him feeling humiliated and alone.
Now, again, what is his mother putting out on Twitch? That's the question. Is she, like, because there's, like me, I have the paid site, right? But when I'm streaming, I'm not doing anything near what I would have on the paid site. And that's how I make sure that, like, as my kids grow up, it's, you know, they're not going to get any kind of bullying for it. So that's what I mean. What is she putting out on the public platform?
The woman finished her post by writing, I'm torn between the need to maintain our financial security and the negative effects my career is having on my son. I strive to be a good mother and provider, but I'm questioning if I'm failing him in other ways. Am I the a-hole for continuing this work despite the emotional cost it's having on my son? Ma'am, is the answer not obvious in the way that you have articulated this? Can you not read the room? The comments reacting to this post were very divided, with people saying that she is the a-hole because she's contributing to the emotional anguish of her child, and it's absurd that she's surprised by this at all, while others suggested that it's better to be financially stable, even if the job is embarrassing for her son.
See, now that's the thing, like, if the woman was a high-priced call girl, would that be financially okay? Like, even if it was, like, you know what I mean? It's a hard one, but you also have to make sure that you're not, like, flaunting it around. Like, and like I said, yeah, it may hurt your growth a little bit, but at least you still have your dignity, right? Your dignity and your kid's dignity.
Yes, I tend to agree that living in a cardboard box is probably not the go. But neither is letting your kid get emotionally beaten to a pulp because you want to take your clothes off on the internet for $15 a month. Now, a short time later, the mother posted
Okay, but if you're taking your clothes off on the internet and putting it behind a $15 per month paywall, how are the teenagers knowing about that? If you're taking your clothes off on the public platforms and not getting banned somehow, that's different. But if you're paywalling the naked shit, how did the teenagers know about it? Unless you're openly advertising it to Twitch and Kick, where and you obviously either don't care or don't know that you have teenagers watching you.
Take your clothes off on the internet for $15 a month. Now, a short time later, the mother posted an update. After a long discussion with her son about his feelings, the woman said that she has decided to disable her OnlyFans and will move away from inappropriate content completely. To many people, this probably seems to be the most obvious solution to the problem. And even though the damage might already be done because the images and content are already out there, at least the mother is listening to her child and taking action. But the interesting thing here is that the reaction of this mother in this particular case doesn't actually seem to be the norm. And I know what you're probably thinking here, but Sydney, this is just you basing this off of a bunch of anecdotes that you found around the internet. And you would be right, because it's not like we have a bunch of statistics about mothers deleting their not safe for work content off the internet because it made their child sad. Although with how things are progressing, and given enough time, I don't think we're too far off. That revelation makes me terribly unhappy. Most of the stories that I've read...
See, this is where I don't agree. Like, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you stop like, you're still an adult and a woman, and yeah, you have children, but that doesn't mean you don't have your own, like, desires and stuff. And you should be allowed, if you curate an audience of adults, to post your content to adults. Now, if the adults have children and the adults talk about your content loud enough for their children to hear, and their children start bullying your children, is that your fault? If the children steal their parents' credit card and find your OnlyFans and subscribe to it, is that your fault? And if you're... Yeah, that's true. Well, you have to realize we are approaching it differently, but you will have already been caught in our little town because you wear our YouTube merch. Yeah. That's true. Yep. Yep, exactly. But what I'm saying here is that if this happens and you're like, is it your fault if a teenager, like a 16-year-old, steals their dad or mom's credit card?
The women particularly who I have listened to and the other anecdotes that I have collected from around the internet seem to have one very common thread. And that is, these children are being bullied relentlessly, not only by their peers, but generally by, I guess, wider society. They are being punished for the content that their mums, and sometimes dads, post and make online.
Now, that's a problem. If society as a whole is gonna start bullying the children of adult content creators, they need to take a look at themselves, because you hate the adult content creators so much that you are willing to emotionally batter a child just because of your hatred of adult content. Think about that for a second. Most of these children that are getting bullied about the adult content from their peers only find out about it from, like, maybe they'll find the Twitch channel, but mostly I guarantee you it's their parents are talking about it because they've found it, and they're talking about it in a way that the children will hear, and then they'll go searching for it themselves. And it's almost like these parents like weaponize their kids to go after the kids of the creators, because they can't in good conscience as adults bully the children. So why not just, talk about it in just the right way so that our kids hear it, and then they can go bully the kid. Like, it's almost feels that way. It almost feels like that's the goal.
The parents are aware of this, but they don't intend to stop. Not to mention the young OnlyFans women who don't yet have children but want them in the
Some
future.
of the DMs that get posted by the OnlyFans girls from the Christian community are insane. Oh, I would imagine that they are not very Christian at all.
Are incredibly flippant and very cavalier about how this will affect their little ones somewhere down the road. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The children of OnlyFans parents, and more specifically mothers, because there's just more of them, and what on earth is going on here. And of course, once again, all of my regular disclaimers, this is by no means an exhaustive video. I am not going to hit every single point of this topic in this video. This is a snapshot that is based on observation, my opinion, and a little bit of analysis, because once again, we do lack, meaningful empirical evidence that might help us explain some of what's going on and some of the effects and consequences that come along with this topic, which I feel like is obvious, but I always have to say. So with that being said, and before you once again board my hell gondola and together we traverse this river
Hell
of
gondola?
sadness
I like that.
and cry tears of more sadness for Generation Alpha, who I am assuming are the primary generation who's going to be affected by this.
No, fuck Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha is the problem with Generation Alpha is that fucking Generation X, for some reason, decided to have another generation of children after the millennials. They had Generation Z, and the millennials that the millennials that are young millennials, okay, like the millennials that were born in the 90s, okay, they're having Generation Alpha, and because those millennials were also raised by the Gen X parents, and by that time the Gen X parents were starting to go on their I want my kid to be my friend thing, because they realized that they've traumatized the older kids. So now, between the Gen X parents and the very late 90s born millennial kids, people having kids, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are completely fucked. They have, and the reason kids are getting so relentlessly bullied now is because Gen Z and Gen Alpha were raised, especially Gen Alpha because of COVID, without any sort of socialization outside of screens and gaming and shit. Nobody knows how to be social outside of that anymore. And so now, the minute something happens that is any sort of negative, it's just the most ruthless, heartless thing because nobody has empathy. These kids don't have empathy. They have no idea what empathy even means. And as in the spineless generations. Yep. Bubble wrap included. Yep. Christians are worse than incels. Yep. But it's true. Like Gen Z and Gen Alpha have literally zero understanding of what empathy and sympathy are. So they don't care how like even the bullies back in the 90s, there was some way you could reach a bully at some level and be like, dude, why? Right? There was somewhere. These kids now, there's nothing. They don't give a fuck. You can be like, how would you like it if so-and-so came up to you and did exactly what you would do? I don't care. I'll just punch them. Like, that's what it is. That's what they don't give a fuck. So that is why kids are getting bullied this way.
Let's hear from today's sponsor, which is me, Lions Tea Exchange. And if you think that my regular ads are incredibly chaotic, let's see how chaotic my own's going to be. Alright, so we have to make an ad for the new brand Lions Tea Exchange. Here's what I'm thinking. Imagine this. You're sitting in your home and out of nowhere, someone hands you a box of Lions Tea Exchange. So a stranger broke into my home to from the pyramid-shaped and biodegradable. So want to drink some delicious tea? Then head over to mention that does really help support the channel. Also know that I pack your shipments with love because I care. So go and check it out. Go and order the tea. You know you want to. In late 2023, a woman called Sarah Cheek and her family were banned from an ice rink in their Florida town. During an ice hockey game, her 9-year-old son was involved in an altercation instigated by another player. A parent in the stands reportedly cheered when the child was hurt, while others—
What the fuck?
A parent in the stands was involved in an altercation instigated by another player. A parent in the stands reportedly cheered when the child was hurt, while others ridiculed the boy. Cheek and her husband confronted the parents, which led to a bigger conflict, where she was reportedly threatened with physical violence.
Do you see what I'm talking about? This shows right here that parents, because they don't like the content that's being created, parents are showing their children how to treat the children of adult creators. This is not coming from other kids. Other kids don't give a fuck because they don't understand, right? Adults have this concept of oh, she's a Jezebel, she's a Scarlet Woman. That's an adult concept. And the only reason that teenagers are bullying other teenagers to this degree is because their parents are showing them.
A few days later, as a result of these events, Cheek and her family were banned from the rink, while the other parents involved were not. Sarah Cheek is well known in her community for producing content on OnlyFans.
So what? Who cares? Who cares that she produces content on OnlyFans? Other adults cheered when her child was hurt and she was banned from the rink. What the fuck?
She also appeared on the cover of Playboy and now has pretty solid gig doing sports commentary. During an interview with WFLA, Cheek and her husband Matt were asked if it makes them anxious knowing that anyone can subscribe to her OnlyFans and subsequently affect their 4 kids.
Nobody can subscribe. Okay, how can someone subscribing to the OnlyFans affect the children other than the fact that they're putting money in your pocket? Do they put their kids on the OnlyFans? Because that breaks TOS all over the place. So what the fuck? How does that give them access to their 4 kids?
Matt Cheek answered no.
It doesn't make me
Because
anxious
it doesn't.
because the way that I look at it is it shouldn't impact my 4 kids. Why would any adult think that it's okay to treat a child anyway based on the parent's job?
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly. How can any adult treat a child like crap because they don't agree with their parents' job? Who cares whether you agree with it? Does it affect you? Does another parent having an OnlyFans directly affect your life? No? Then fuck off.
Having things happen to our children has been really hard because we turn off work. We're parents in that situation.
Yeah.
And to see them get affected, it's probably the most heartbreaking thing anybody can experience.
The pair also
And it
claim that
shouldn't
this
happen.
isn't even the first time Cheek's explicit content has affected their children. In the past few years, she has been banned from attending her daughter's cheerleading events, and her
Why?
sons were booted from their football league.
Again, why? These are adults. This is not, this is adults bullying children over their parents' job. Yeah, like, we haven't had a chance away from the kids to make any legit content for like 2 months. Being good parents hurts the bottom line. Leave us alone. Exactly. Being good parents and, first of all, not ditching them to film content, and then also not plastering your OnlyFans all over the place actually does hurt the bottom line. But you know what? I would rather be a good parent than make $150,000 a month. Do you know what I mean?
One of the pair's sons was even suspended from school. I think most of us can agree that punishing a child for the sins of their parents is probably not the way to
Suspending
go.
the
But for
child
these
from
parents to
school?
act surprised and blindsided when these things inevitably happen in these situations
Okay, no.
is wild.
Actually, no, it's not. Sydney. It's not wild at all. It is not wild to be surprised that your children are being punished by adults for what you do for work. That's not wild. It's wild for you to sit there and be like, well, of course your children got punished and you got kicked out of your children's events. You're an OnlyFans model. You're an OnlyFans creator. What do you expect? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's like saying, let's flip this around. Okay? Let's say one of the parents works in a coal mine and they get kicked out of the child's event because they weren't able to run home and shower before they got there, and they're all covered in coal. And they're like, you get out of here. You're dirty. We don't want you here. You're gonna make everybody else uncomfortable, and you're dirty. You're dusty. Nobody wants to be around you. Get out. Also, your child can't play here anymore because you're a dirty coal miner. In reality, this actually shows the pure cowardice of these parents. They won't talk to the creators face to face. They make their kids do it to their children. Yeah. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. they weaponize their children to go after the children of creators and just cause emotional turmoil because they don't like the concept of adult content. And they think that adult content means like orgy porn. They can't fathom that adult content can run the gambit from explicit content to glamour shots.
Like, people gonna people. I feel like that's pretty well established. Now, I don't
I'm
have
sorry,
people,
what?
People, like, been in these situations is wild. Like, people gonna people. I feel like that's pretty well established.
I'm sorry. Are you breaking down the bullying of children by adults to people gonna people? I thought I liked you, Sydney. This is Sydney Watson, right? And I still want to know where the fuck all the parents were that are apparently our age in the 90s, 80s and 90s when all this shit was on MTV, right? Exactly. All the shit that was all over MTV and fucking BET too. And everybody watched BET. You can't tell me that wasn't a thing.
Now, I don't have pudding people as of yet, but I would assume that a general consensus among decent parents is that if you're doing something that causes your child harm or distress or pain, whether it be physical or emotional, you stop.
Okay, but if I'm doing the thing and the thing isn't causing them pain until other people start bullying them, is it me that's causing them the pain, or is it the other people that don't like what I'm doing that's causing the pain? Because I feel like that's the second one.
The same thing would go for any other relationship with a person you love and care about, like a spouse or a parent or a close friend. But that dynamic is really exacerbated when you are dealing with a child.
Yep, fashion television, yep. Driving Ape says, I remember my dad in the 90s watching fashion television and I could see through all the clothes that were on the runway, and that was on City TV. Yep. I remember fashion television.
Someone who can't just often cut you out of their lives and over whom you have a degree of control. But rather than doing that, identifying that OnlyFans and the creation of explicit content is causing children pain and stopping.
But it's not that. It is the reaction of other adults to it that is causing children pain. It is not the existence of this content. It is not the sole existence of this content that is causing pain to the children. Because I guarantee you, most parents don't, or most kids don't even know that their moms or dads have an OnlyFans until they're the children of other parents who don't like it start bullying them. I guarantee you that's a thing. Like, that's most of the way that the child finds out their mom has an OnlyFans.
The Cheeks have done what many other content creators in similar situations have also done. Blamed everyone else and doubled down. This is actually an attitude that I came across again and again while looking into this topic, and I suppose it brings me to my first point about this issue. These people seem to believe that sex work, as they call it, is as innocuous as any other profession, and if it makes them feel good, then really no harm done.
First of all, this type of sex work is really not, it is rather innocuous because it is a fuck ton safer than street walking or Craigslist. You are able to curate what you are selling way easier and safer. It is paywalled behind a thing that requires a credit card. And it's literally the amount of things that you cannot put up on OnlyFans is staggering. Like bodily fluids and stuff. Like you can't put stuff like that up on OnlyFans. So it really, like, you curate what you put up there. And to say that these people just think that it's no different than any other job. Well, it's really not. What's like, and honestly, why are you guys not talking about the models that go over to Dubai and degrade themselves over there for money? And those people are mostly over on Instagram. So why are you not shitting all over those people? Why are you sitting here pretending that OnlyFans creators who have kids are like the crackhead prostitute that leaves their baby home to go get $20 for a hit? Like, why is this a thing that's happening?
In July 2021, in another Reddit post, a mother allegedly likened her OnlyFans content to working in a bank or a grocery store. Okay.
Kinda is.
You what? The post gained media attention because the 13-year-old child who wrote it expressed that his mother's actions and content make him want to self-delete, especially after he became the target of bullies at his school.
Okay, but did his mother's posting the content make him want to delete himself, or is that the bullies of the bullying of the children? And how did the children find out about his mom's content? Again, was she one of those horrible mothers that advertises it in the school drop-off line, or did the kids find out through their parents?
When the child tried discussing that with his mom, she apparently said that it makes her feel good about herself, making the explicit content, and that her son should be happy that she's more confident now. I feel like...
Okay, that's a shitty mom. That's not OnlyFans' fault, and that's not all OnlyFans creators who have kids. That is a shitty mom. Why can you not separate the two?
Like, this is the same argument that meth heads make. Except rather than making them feel more confident, I guess it just deadens them inside. Probably just like how this little boy is currently feeling.
Are you likening OnlyFans creators to meth heads?
Expressed in this post reminded me a lot of an interview on the Other People's Lives podcast from February 2023. The hosts, Joe and Greg, interviewed a woman who makes explicit content with her husband and other men. This is gonna be great. During the episode, Joe and Greg asked the woman about how her chosen profession affects her 3 children, 2 of her older daughters being 11 and 14 at the time of recording.
Okay, so as long as her kids don't know, why does it matter? And as they get older, if they find out, like, you don't have to be explicit about what they know. You just have to be like, yeah, I film films. Like, why does that? Why do people feel like children have to have explicit details about everything that their parents do?
She said that in order to circumvent them finding out about her quote-unquote job from other people, she opted to tell them herself. I would love to be a fly on the wall while these conversations are going down. Mommy, why am I being bullied at school? I'm sorry, Marta. It's 2024 and sex work is real work, and I put all my areolas on the internet to pay for your piano lessons.
Wow. Just wow. How disingenuous is this? This is pathetic. Like, I don't know if I can make it through this whole half-an-hour video.
I'm sorry, you did what? She added that the problems began when other kids in the town started finding her content and showing her daughters.
How did they find the content? If it's on OnlyFans, how did they find it? How did they find it? Did they find your promotional posts, which should be blurred anyway? How did they find your explicit shit?
Mostly like other kids finding my stuff and then showing my daughters and being like, your mom's a whore. That was really tough, and it ended up coming down to is I kind of had to just be like,
yeah, there's no search, there's actually no search function on OnlyFans either, unless you know the exact name of the person. Dude, we need the contact, and I want to clip this entire thing and post it. Well, I'll make sure to publish the VOD. Yeah, in all the sitcoms in the 90s, the kids were getting bullied about the bikini photo that their dad took of their mom. Yup. No, none of this shit is new ever since the Polaroid camera existed. Facts. Do you remember the Family Guy episode back in fucking 2000 when season 1 with the magazine, the Playboy shoot that Lois did for Peter, and Chris found it and he took it to school? You remember that episode?
Like, I'm not doing it anymore. I kind of had to lie to them. In fact, I was told by their other set of parents that I needed to lie to them and tell them that I wasn't doing it anymore.
When the host went on to ask her how she broke this news to her children about her making the content, similarly to the aforementioned Reddit post, the woman explained that she likes doing the devil's tango and that she didn't get to have a hoe phase in her early life because she was pregnant very early on.
I'm sure she did not actually say she didn't get to have a hoe phase to her children. I'm very certain she didn't actually say, I didn't get to be a whore when I was younger because I was pregnant with you. I'm pretty damn sure that's not what came out of her mouth, Sydney. But okay.
What is this? Wait a freaking minute. So this lady films herself doing the devil's tango with not only her husband but with other men, and then proceeds to put the explicit content on the internet. Lady, that's not
behind a paywall. So again, how are the other children finding it? Unless it's on their dad's fucking computer, which he's paying for the content then.
The explicit content on the internet. Lady, that's not a hoe phase.
What exactly did you tell them? Like, you were like, I make adult content? Like,
yeah.
What exactly? Oh, okay.
That's pretty much exactly what I told them. I was like, yeah, so I've always had super bad self-confidence, and you guys I know are pretty aware of that. I became a mom at a very young age, so I never got to explore that part of my life. I never got to explore the sexual side. I never got to have a hoe phase. And so this is kind of me as an adult being smart about it and safe. Like, I do make sure everybody that I come encounter with has been tested. I get tested regularly, and I let them know that. And I also reminded them that I am an adult and I am allowed to make these choices. Being open and free with yourself is a really nice thing and a really beautiful thing. And
so what's wrong with what she said? She said, I'm an adult. I am capable of consenting and making these choices. I do it safely. Again, why is this a problem? She's not street walking and having unsafe sex for what is the problem here? And again, how are these kids getting the content that they're bullying their daughters over?
And being able to be confident in yourself and feel good about what you're doing and making yourself feel good, because let's all be real, sex feels good.
Like, plenty of other anecdotes that I've seen from
you
content
do need a login
parents.
ID.
This mother also admits that her oldest daughter is embarrassed,
generally through
and
one
that's
of the
not
5
something
social
that this
media
mother
apps
considered
to verify your
happening when
age.
she
Yeah.
started posting and making explicit content.
Her friends have seen me
She's
make...
not nailing 5 guys a night for $20 at a hotel. Yeah. Exactly. She's not leaving her children at home unattended to street walk for pennies to get a crack hit. She's filming with her husband and probably very carefully picking the people that she's also filming with and filming it in a safe location and putting it up behind a paywall for people to buy. That is far different. If she's doing a collab with somebody, she's generally taking 6 hours to make a 5-minute video. Yeah. There's takes, there's angles, there's shots, there's all sorts of different things to do. It's not just showing up and fucking.
Naked. Like, that is a little embarrassing for a child to go through. And that wasn't something I really considered when I started getting right into it. And with not considering that, that's my bad.
Believe it or not, the I didn't think about how this would affect other people thing is a very common theme here. Online personality Adam22, who makes spicy content with his wife Lena, appeared on the podcast Raw Talk in mid-2023. During the episode, when asked about his 2-year-old daughter, Adam said the couple didn't consider her when making decisions about their content creation.
Why would they? She's 2. Who's going to talk to a 2-year-old about adult content? And if anybody does, they need to be shot. Seriously, people need to watch the behind-the-scenes shit for how porn is made if they really want to understand this industry. Yep. People, honestly, I think these weird Christian fucks that too. That's true. I don't understand these people. Did you know mommy and daddy do wrestling videos on the internet? Like, how would you explain that to a toddler? And why would you?
So I mean, because that had to be the biggest thing you guys
Why
were,
would
like,
you?
deciding for or against it, right? For your daughter, right? I'm assuming that would have been the hardest thing of it, or you just...
No. We didn't talk about that.
So what was the hardest part for you in saying yes to it?
The hardest part for me was just like wrapping my head around the idea that my girl was going to spend any amount of time with another guy, because even though I said it's not that big a deal to me, it's still a deal. It's still a thing.
You know, I've floated this idea previously, but I'm gonna float it again. Parenting licenses.
No, you know what? Yeah, we talked about it with our kids. We said if anybody makes fun of you for anything, they find out that about mommy and daddy on the internet, tell them to go fuck themselves. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. That's you tell them you talk about it, you tell them to tell the people to fuck off.
Now, much of this attitude seems to piggyback on the slogans of liberal feminism, that sex work is real work and therefore cannot be questioned, and any negative consequences that come with participating in the sex industry are purely the result of unnecessary, unwarranted stigma.
Well, at this point, unless you're doing shit that's with animals or kids, yeah, it is unnecessary stigma. And if you look at cultures that are not sexually repressed, they don't have this attitude about it. They don't, like, it's not a big deal. If you go and you look at fucking normal cable television in most of Europe, it's not a big deal. It's really not.
And that if everybody just dropped their puritanical attitudes, all would be well. And while that's all well and good as far as meaningless online political discourse goes, it doesn't exactly translate in the real world.
Yeah,
it does. A place where you have to accept that you're not always going to be met with the exact conditions that you want. So while the sex work is real work crowd can fantasize as much as they like about what life might be like absent of stigma, the fact remains, it currently exists.
Yeah, so instead of us having to make you not feel like, or not be puritanical, how about you just fucking work on yourself? And to clarify, no, we did not go to details about what we actually do. No, we don't. We didn't. We just simply said if anybody makes fun of you at all for what we post on the internet, tell them to fuck off. Yep. I'm gonna start telling them to say shit, like, and subscribe. That's funny. I like that, honey. I like that.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad tidings. Although at this point, I feel like that's my primary role for all of you. Now, it might be one thing for this negative association to impact a fully grown adult individual who is participating and involved in the industry, but it is another matter entirely when that individual's actions start impacting children who have absolutely no say in the matter.
Yeah, and you know why those individuals' actions start impacting the children? Because people who don't like the individual's actions start bringing it up to the children and making it the children's problem because they are psychopaths.
A Business Insider article from early 2023, penned by an OnlyFans mother, lamented how this very stigma and the judgment associated with making not safe for work content is the reason she quit the platform, but she wishes that she didn't have to. She wrote, "I felt I was already running a risk by having an OnlyFans page as a mother. It didn't matter how much it benefited me financially. People look down on women who do any kind of adult entertainment work.
Yep.
When mums do it, the stigma is even worse."
It's true. Because you're a mom, you're supposed to be a saint. You're a mom, you're supposed to just stay at home and do all the housewifely things, but you can't actually still be a woman with sexual desires. No. You're a mom now. You're a mom now. You can't do that. You have to stop being a woman and just be a robot. Oops.
Everyone assumes it will irreparably damage the child somehow. I don't know, man. If Gen Z have taught me anything, it's that everything can irreparably damage a child. If Gen Z can internalize trauma from their parents forgetting to get them a birthday cake on their 5th birthday party, I am fairly certain that you putting your pink bits on the internet, your mom putting her one nipple, nope, that's not it either. Your mom getting very comfortable and intimate with some fruit on the internet for $12 a month is definitely going to cause some major trauma.
But only, how would it cause major trauma? Are they subscribing and watching their mom do it? Is that what's happening now? Is there a new thing where kids are subscribing to their mom's OnlyFans? That's how you guys are acting. Ugh. Okay, I need a bathroom break. We're hitting the 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna quickly do a bathroom break, and I don't know how much more of this retardation I can handle, but we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna watch a few more minutes of this, and then I'm going to switch over to, I'm in the wrong spot. And then I'm gonna switch over and warm up for my gaming in a bit, because my match is at 1 o'clock. So we're gonna do this, and then we'll cover some more of the videos.
Despite the potential blowback and negative perception, the woman says, running an OnlyFans page is the perfect job for a mother. I created content at home.
It is if
while
you're
my
a
kids were
stay-at-home
at school.
mom.
I could take time off when I needed it. I was available to pick up my children after school instead of forcing them into some daycare program.
Yeah.
If they were sick, I could stay at home with them. I even had enough free time to volunteer in their classroom. What I find really interesting about this article in its totality is that this mother seems to be quite upset about the stigma associated with what she was doing, doesn't seem to actually think that it will cause irreparable damage to children, and even makes the argument that it's a great and even perfect job for mothers. All while also admitting to the fact that she deleted her account from the platform, from OnlyFans, because the drawbacks were too many.
Well, yeah, because if people are gonna start treating your kid like garbage because of your job, what are you supposed to do? Seriously, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to keep doing your job if you are a good mom and you care about your kids? If you know that people are treating your kids like shit, how are you supposed to keep doing it and feel good about yourself?
The maths ain't mathin'. I guess all of this brings me to my second point. The individualism that underpins most of modern society, the attitude, I do what I want when I want, consequences be damned, future consequences be damned, is all well and good when you're a teenager or even a 20-something living wild and free. But it's a lot harder to justify when pudding people are in the picture. So as a result, and
why are you calling children
consideration
pudding people?
for those pudding people really doesn't seem to be at the
Why?
forefront of this issue. In early February of this year, 2024, a woman called Michelle Klein got her children expelled from a Christian school in Florida. Klein was asked to stop driving her car on school property because it had a decal of her OnlyFans handle on the back window.
Yeah, she's a bad example. She's a very bad example to use. Because she's the example of OnlyFans moms that you shouldn't be. That doesn't mean every other OnlyFans mom is like her. In fact, all the OnlyFans moms that you have pointed out until her have actually cared about their kids. And wanted to keep this stuff away from their kids. So this is like the only example you actually have.
And quite a large one, if I do say so myself. Like, lady, what did you expect?
Told her she could not drive on school property anymore. After that, she added a larger decal, and now this week the Kleins got a letter saying the family's enrollment has been immediately terminated.
It's definitely not for kids, but there's a paywall that you can't access unless you have
then
ID. Then
why are
In an
you
interview,
putting
she
your
said that she
decal
had the
there?
decal on her car for about 2 years before it became an issue and another parent complained. Since then, she says that she hasn't been on school grounds, which, just by the way, is confusing because in another news report that I listened to, they said that apparently she got a bigger decal and kept driving on the school grounds. So I don't know what the deal is there. When asked about her thoughts on her kids being expelled, she indicated that she thinks it's unfair.
So I want to ask you, what
No,
was
it's
your
not.
reaction to the kids kind of being
Again, she's the wrong example to use here. Like, she's the only example to use here. Because this is a Christian private school. It's not a public school. And even if it were a public school, the public school would have a right to say, don't advertise your adult content on school grounds. This is a child's place. That's not for children. So, but again, she is the example that Sydney should have started with for bad OnlyFans mom.
Expelled or kicked out of the school. Did you think that that had crossed a line?
No. Because
I do, yes,
you crossed
because
the
I
line.
feel like when they came to me and asked me to not be on property any longer with my vehicles, I immediately obliged. I wasn't back on property one more time.
No,
since
you
then,
were across the
and
street,
I did
though.
what I was asked, but then I felt like, you know, like that wasn't enough. It's like they had to like take it further, and now I feel like it was being taken on the kids because they weren't an issue. You know, their behavior, their grades, anything like that wasn't a problem. It's just simply someone didn't like my car decal, so I removed it from the property, and yet it still wasn't sufficient.
Now, hilariously, the latest development in this story is that the parent who complained about the decal, her children have also been suspended because she caused, quote, disharmony in the school by making a TikTok video about the incident.
Okay, what the fuck? Why would what disharmony? Is that even a word? Is disharmony a word? I don't know. Let's ask. Is disharmony a word?
Okay, I found this on the web for is disharmony a word? Check it out. Disharmony definition and usage examples. Dictionary.com.
Huh.
British dictionary definitions for disharmony. Lacular chordal harmony.
It-
Situation. Circumstance.
It is a word. It just sounds wrong.
Double tap to open. Search. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, cap X. YouTube.
It just does not sound like a word. It just does not sound like a word.
So, yeah, there's all of that. Now, something that I have touched on with relation to this topic in the past is that people seem to be of the opinion that there won't actually ever really be any consequences for their actions. This is especially common with young women who presently do OnlyFans and make explicit content who are not yet mothers, but want to be a parent somewhere down the road. In one of my videos titled The Age of OnlyFans Regret, I showed a clip from the Whatever podcast where several young women argued that their content wouldn't be a problem for their future children because the market is currently saturated with so many women doing what they're doing.
That's partially a point, but also, if it's behind a paywall, it shouldn't affect the kids.
Meaning their children and their peers will all be in the same boat because all their moms put their lady parts on the internet.
If you raise your kid in LA, like, there are so many sex workers here that I don't think that, you know, specifically one of ours necessarily is going to be the talk of the town when there's like so many plus years now going on between now and then.
These women also seem to believe that they can have their spicy content meaningfully taken off the internet with takedown requests. Which, like, just to reiterate, and I know that I already covered this in detail in my OnlyFans regret video, that's not a thing. Again, the internet is mostly forever.
See, that is the other, that is the thing that is stupid about these women who do, like, there have been women who, they break up with their boyfriend and they've done OF content. And they're like, can I request that all my shit be taken off his page? Because we're not together anymore? And it's like, no, idiot.
Especially when it comes to seeing your butthole.
Why wouldn't you delete your OnlyFans if you...
I've already spoken about this. I was big enough to where my is going to be out there.
You can get it taken down very easily.
You can't.
Yes, you can. 100% you can.
You can't.
It's always gonna be
Yes, you
there.
can. I was just curious why.
You can't.
I was just curious. I know.
You
Okay,
can
listen.
pay, trust
You guys have been doing this for 6 months too.
I also have lawyers that literally tell like you
Oh,
just pay for
lawyers,
it. It's
yes,
DCMA
lawyers.
takedown. So
Stupid
I actually
bimbo.
a couple times a week will go out on the internet to search my name and see if there's any of my content out there, and I use legal action and DCMA takedown to take that content down. So some of it doesn't always get taken down based on the country that it's in.
Yeah, which means it doesn't always work, you moron.
Obviously fall under those legal actions.
Unsurprisingly, like I have already said in this video several times, the things being expressed here are not uncommon, and this has been articulated again and again and again. In one clip from June 2023, host Piers Morgan asks an OnlyFans creator called Elle Brooks how she thinks her future children will react and feel when they see her explicit content. She responds, "They can cry in a Ferrari." Whoever owns Piers Morgan's content and his show, I actually don't know the company, I didn't look it up, sorry about that. They are notorious for copyright claiming and whatnot, so I am gonna try to include the clip. I don't know if it's gonna stick, but we're gonna see how it goes.
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But
You will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, "Didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?"
Yeah.
How do they not? But like, what do they know? How will they know? Oh, the NCNs that take all your money? Yeah, yeah.
And you go, "Yeah, but look at all my stuff."
They can cry in a Ferrari.
This is the face that we all make internally. This is the way. Just weeping. I find it very interesting that there appears to be this belief that the monetary and financial benefits of this type of work will inevitably pacify the negative experiences of children, present or future. This again.
Well, maybe if adults would stop weaponizing their children to go after our children, this wouldn't be a problem.
Something that I've seen over and over with relation to this issue.
I feel like what I'm doing allows my daughter to have a better life. Like, I am able to.
Why did strippers exist back in the 90s to put themselves through college and medical school? Yep.
And you're not old enough or mature enough to grasp the benefits that have actually happened from this. You're only seeing one side of it. And I think after I had that conversation, she seemed to understand it a lot more.
I just feel like it's not that serious. I don't know. People get bullied for all sorts of things. So I think I would set my kid up with a life where they would be, 1, safe, 2, financially stable, and 3, have a good relationship with me. So if anything were to take place, I would be able to take care of it.
Right? See, there you go. What's wrong with that?
Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't add that there are children, who seem to be mostly adult, who don't care about their parents' spicy content. I also saw articles and other stories while looking into this topic where daughters make content with their mothers or sons take photos of their mothers.
Okay,
Others
that's a little
indicate
bit
that
weird.
the children are overall fine with all of this and even support it.
Notice
Although
how
I would
she's-
argue that children are not the most forward-thinking humans.
Oh, really? You think children aren't the most forward-thinking humans? I'm sorry. Children will fucking accept pretty much anything. Children are fucking blank slates and open mind sponges. Children are the epitome of forward-thinking humans. It's when they grow up that they close their minds because of parents and people like you, Sydney. Children are incredibly forward-thinking. So we're going back to under 25 are children again, only this time from the right, not the left. Yep. Notice how she says the women who make contact with their mothers, and he bets those women are over 18. Yep. And notice how she waited until 26 minutes, 12 minutes of a 31-minute video to start talking about the good parts of this. This is her concession paragraph in her video essay.
So to sign them up to a lifetime of implications that they probably don't fully understand the scope of yet seems a little selfish. This is also sort of an aside to this issue, but I do think that it's worth adding that parents model behavior for their children. So a mother or even father making spice content models that this is a viable career path, particularly for their daughters.
Okay, No, it doesn't, unless they're literally doing it in front of their kids. And going, do you see this spicy content I made? That bought you your PlayStation. That, like, you know, like any job, if you sit there and go, you see that? The heart surgery I performed this morning got you that. Like, any job you could do that with.
In my view, it sets them up for a life of exploitation, especially if they choose to pursue this path when they are freshly 18. Like, fresh out of the womb, their little noggins.
I'm sorry, fresh out of the womb is 18? Fresh out of the womb is 18. I love the new level of class warfare we have reached. It's insane, literally insane. It literally is. And I can't believe that Sydney just said fresh out of the womb as 18.
Yeah, that's how I feel about 18-year-olds. I also want to add that I assume that this is going to make custody agreements and disputes a lot more challenging going forward. But that's definitely a conversation for another day. I think the fact of the matter here is that OnlyFans as a platform is probably not going anywhere anytime soon. And actually, I think you can extend that to any kind of adult content creation and these adult industries generally.
No shit, considering that prostitution has been a thing since we started trading goods with each other. There's a reason they call it the oldest profession in history.
There is an ever-growing market for this, and that means that there will be people to meet that demand. But as far as children go, it's sometimes very hard for me to wrap my head around why mothers, especially, would participate on a platform that more
These women all make 10 times more money than me, but they show their butthole, fuck them, and burn them at the stake. Yup. You know how everybody accuses me of being jealous of Molly Burke when I call her out for her shit? This is what jealousy actually looks like.
Likely won't give them the financial freedom that they so desire, given that the vast majority of creators on OnlyFans only make somewhere between $150 to $180 a month.
Yeah, and that $150 to $180 a month is sometimes the difference between a food bank trip and a not food bank trip. So how about you shove it up your ass? Okay? How about you take your puritanical, absolutely disingenuous nonsense and you shove it straight back up your butt from which you pulled it? How about that?
This is something else that I explored in detail in my OnlyFans regret video, so I won't rehash it here. And if you're interested, go and watch that video because we talk about all of this. Ultimately, I think that we can all agree that first and foremost, a parent's responsibility is to make sure that their child is safe and well cared for.
Yeah, and sometimes that means making sure that the bills are paid and that there's food in the fridge. And if you can cash out your OnlyFans money and go to the fucking grocery store, that's a good thing.
So with that said, I think it's very hard to make the argument that knowingly putting people to an industry that
Stop calling children pudding people. It sounds really creepy and predatory. It makes it sound like you want to eat them. Why does Sydney Watson want to eat children? That's disturbing.
And harmful meets that criteria, especially when many, if not most, OnlyFans creators are very public about information that would ordinarily be private, like their actual name and their face and other information that they use to promote their spice content.
Yeah, that's why you don't... That's why, if you're smart, you have an internet handle.
While I understand that some people would much rather live in this magical fantasy land where there is absolutely no stigma attached to doing the horizontal monster mash on camera.
Yeah, not everybody that does OnlyFans is having sex on camera, so you can you can stop now.
That is not the reality in which we currently live, and that likely isn't going to change. So especially where pudding people are involved, I think it's considerably more important, at least in my opinion, to accept the reality in which we all exist, the parameters that exist, and work within those confines rather than wish for a world that's completely different. And
yeah, no, I refuse to live in the world where the parameters are adults can bully children for the choices of other adults. That's not something that I'm willing to do. That's not something I'm going to do. So we're going to do this last video before I switch to gaming because I need to warm up for my matches. But I don't want to take too much time gaming, so, but we're gonna do this Love Don't Judge video called My Boyfriend Does Not Have a Disability Fetish. Oh boy. This should be good. This should be fantastic. Let's take a look.
This is Alex. She fell in love with Noah. They have faced criticism for being in an interabled relationship.
I hate that word!
When we go out,
I fucking hate interabled. It sounds so stupid.
we get looks almost to the point where people break their necks.
People assume that my boyfriend has a disability fetish.
The couple are expecting their first child together. When they announced the news online, there was a negative backlash.
And they're like, it's fake, your timeline doesn't add up, like.
Your timeline doesn't add up? How many these people must be stupid. These are the people that come into my lives on TikTok and go, if you're blind, how did you even have kids? You know, like how did you have them? How did you conceive them? Because, you know, blind people can't have sex.
Like, you're just doing this for views. There's so many comments like, this should be illegal.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Alex.
We are an interabled couple.
Ugh, how could you even say that? I refuse to call me and Driving Ape an interabled couple.
Together for 7 months.
How long?
We are an interabled couple. We've been together for 7 months.
They've been together for 7 months and she's pregnant? Oh, how pregnant is she?
I am pregnant with our first baby. We matched on Bumble and yeah, we met up and the rest is history.
You met on Bumble and you're already pregnant? Oh, this is gonna go well. This is gonna go well. This is gonna go well. 7 months together, found each other on Bumble, and she's already pregnant. Lovely. This is gonna go great.
I have a rare disease called spinal muscular atrophy.
Oh, lovely. You have SMA. You've only been with this dude for 7 months and you're gonna have a baby with him? Yeah, your relationship is gonna last super long. Yeah.
Type 2. SMA pretty much affects everything about my daily life. Since I became pregnant, and I'm not on treatment right now, everything is a lot harder than it used to be.
No
I
shit.
Be a lot more physically independent. I never had thought that my boyfriend would be my full-time caregiver, ever.
Oh my god. 7 months already and he's her full-time caregiver and he's gonna have to be caring for the baby. Dude. Fucking run now and file for full custody when it's born.
Definitely an interesting dynamic. So like we definitely have to have like boundaries in the relationship. When we started dating, I think our families both felt very different. I think her family, I mean her mom not so much, wasn't very accepting that like I'm a recovering addict.
Oh god. Oh God. She's like arm curled MS levels. Oh Jesus. To be honest, this guy looks super... Oh, beta. This guy looks super beta. Okay, so on top of her having SMA and being pregnant 7 months into their relationship, he's an addict who is in recovery. This is just... This child just has no fucking chance. This kid has no fucking chance. This dad's gonna fucking relapse in a year from all the stress. This fucking mom's not gonna be able to take care of this kid. This is great. This is a wonderful situation.
From the age of 17, I was addicted to Adderall, stimulant speed.
Lovely!
And, it kind of just progressed its way into other avenues. I've been to rehab 3 times now.
Oh, good! Yeah, not only are you in recovery, but it took you 3 times to get there, so you are definitely prone to relapses. Yay! Yay, this is perfect.
And I think I got it underway now, my 3rd time. My family, they were kind of felt weird about being with a disabled person. They're very judgmental, so this was very different for them. But
are you sure that they were worried about, like, they were judgmental, or were they like, dude, this is like the most stressful relationship you could possibly be in. Are you sure this is a good idea for your recovery?
The more they got to know her and the more she came over, it became more of like a normal thing, and they accepted her as just like any other human being, so I was happy about that.
Well, she is just like any other human being, but
from time to time, like almost to the point where people break their necks.
Just because I've been disabled my whole life, I'm so used to like getting looks
Cannibalistic
that it doesn't
Wizard,
really
what's up?
register with me anymore. But I would
I'm doing
say
the multi-streaming
if it
thing here on
bothers you,
YouTube and
that
Twitch, and I'm
So
doing
some people
variety
assume
shit.
that my boyfriend has
I'm about
what
to
we would
start
call
gaming in a minute.
disability fetish, which is interesting because I think the assumption there is that disabled people aren't sexually appealing.
Yep, that is a thing. That's a big thing about it. That's why a lot of people don't feel comfortable with looking at my fucking page shit, because I'm disabled. I think that's a big thing. They feel weird about thinking that the blind person is hot. Why the fuck are my hands so cold?
So
I can't have cold hands if I'm gonna play MK.
Want to be intimate with a disabled person means that they must have a fetish.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all 3 of them say yes, dude. Oh my god, I'm crying. I don't know if it's like happy or sad or like I was not planning this. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude, that's intense.
When we both found out that Alex was pregnant, it was a lot of excitement, but also a lot of nervousness for sure.
No shit, because isn't SMA genetic? How do you, like, isn't that... I have 2 more videos to go and then gaming shit. Okay. Hopefully I will make it...
I have to be put
warm.
under
Hopefully I'll be able to
general
warm up in
anesthesia
time.
for the C-section. So I have to be intubated.
Because the Cheapskates video is 20 minutes and my thing starts at 1 o'clock.
You know, my medical team is very experienced with people with my disease, so I'm confident.
You're confident, are you?
I'm serious, no, thank you so much. And we do have a baby registry, but thank you so much. And for anyone that wants to buy us anything, the link is in our bio. Yeah,
Oh, they're content creators. It's okay. I have a few more. I have a few minutes.
These are some baby bottles, and they are SMA friendly.
So like they're light enough that I'm able to hold them for the baby.
So they're plastic. Okay? You have plastic bottles. Good job.
I've been in the social media space for about 6 years, very publicly sharing my life on the internet. And obviously when I became pregnant, I really wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah, it's only 12:30. I have enough
Our first
time
fan
for
appointment,
another video.
a lot of anticipation, a lot of mixed emotions, excitement, but also very scared.
No shit. You not only have to take care of an adult, but you're gonna have to take care of a tiny human that can't communicate with you.
All these comments on TikTok,
It was a fake pregnancy.
the pregnancy was fake. And they're like, it's fake, your timeline doesn't add up, like, you're just doing this for views.
She talks a lot
We had
more
a
than
video
he does.
viral, and our Halloween costume, and they're like, how did that
How did you
occur?
do this?
The most hate I think I've ever received on social media, and it definitely is very mentally
She
exhausting
sounds like
for
she,
sure,
like,
and
definitely
I've always
wears the
wanted to be a
pants.
mom. People are saying, abort the baby because
Yeah.
it might have your
Okay.
disease.
Yeah, and it's gonna be mangled. What will you do if your boyfriend leaves you and you become a single mother? Would you have to hire a caregiver and a babysitter?
There's so many.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the way people talk about me and you, where they're like, where they're saying, how you're controlling of me and how you like overtalk me and how like you're exploiting me and like all this. It feels a very similar way where they're like saying that this is fake and he's got a fetish for her and like, I do hope that this relationship, like despite all of its stepping stones that it's gonna have to hurdle, I do hope that they
So many
succeed.
comments like, this should be illegal. I've been like firing back at people. Like we did this one where on our ultrasound.
I've
we
been
had
playing the long
a
game
super
with
clip
my
from
fetish.
Baby,
I'm gonna
like,
put it in your eye
waving.
socket one
I was
day.
like, Baby Smith waving hi to the haters.
You're funny.
We're going to take some photos to celebrate being 18 weeks pregnant. Do I look 18 weeks?
Yes, babe.
Someone said, will you be able to care for the baby once it's born? Someone put no words. And then someone said, I'm sure everyone is concerned for her and her baby, but everyone needs to let her enjoy her pregnancy just like any other woman.
See, there you go. Because I'm sure, like, there will be things that she'll be able to do, but her boyfriend's gonna have to step up a lot.
You could put that scarf on me, babe. Just kind of like a blankie, I guess. We're going shopping for the baby, and we're so excited to shop and create our little family together.
Yeah, he does not seem like he's got a fetish.
It's a very happy moment, and we're very caring, loving people, and we have the resources, the love in our hearts to be able to raise a baby, and we're very confident in that.
I feel like if he was this guy who was going from disabled person to disabled person, then how good is Peacemaker actually? Ooh. Yeah, this is our transition video. This is our transition, not our transmission video. What the hell is a transmission video? This is from Super. He's a content creator that I really enjoy watching for my Mortal Kombat content. and he's going to show us just how good Peacemaker is.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Superhero.
Peacemaker
Welcome
is the latest
to another
DLC.
Mortal Kombat 1 video. So Peacemaker has been out for almost
I just
a week.
wanted to avoid
he's
the
been out
pet
for 5
video.
days, and the community
You caught me.
has gotten a good taste of peace.
You caught
and
me.
I'm pretty much just here to talk about what my opinions are on the character, whether I think he's the best character in the game, whether I think he's even good. Does he suck?
No.
Spoiler alert, he definitely does not suck. But how good is Peacemaker actually? And I'm also here to give my opinion on my experience playing crossplay in Mortal Kombat 1 so far. So if you guys have been enjoying the Peacemaker action, and if you've been enjoying playing with Peacemaker yourself, make sure you guys leave a like on the video. It's always appreciated. It helps out the channel a ton. Peacemaker is actually going to be available in a few days for everybody.
Yeah, so we've had early access to Peacemaker right now for if anybody's bought the premium edition. And I do see like the potential for Peacemaker. I was just having like he's got a lot of execution that you need to lab with, because he's got a lot of to execute his combos. You got to do a lot of starters into projectiles, into your cameos, into another couple of button pushes, into more projectiles, and there's a lot of down back motion. There's a lot of very quick D-pad motions and button pushes that you have to connect to your combo. There's a lot of timing involved with Peacemaker combos.
Obviously, he comes out first for people who got the combat pack. So whoever didn't get the combat pack will have a shot at Peacemaker very, very soon. So here we go. All right. Peacemaker, when I saw him in the combat cast, he definitely looked a little goofy.
Yeah.
He already looked like he was going to be a pretty solid character because, to be honest, he has everything you want in a character. He has decent zoning. His gun is not bad. Actually, he has pretty good zoning.
I do wish that his EX gunshot, though, was high, low, high. Like, I wish it was a mix-up. But it's all 3 highs.
Because he has his gun, plus he has Eagly. And
yes.
if you hit somebody from full screen with a low Eagly, you could actually continue your combo.
Yeah.
He has
the timing
amazing
is
zoning.
hard, though.
He has amazing up-close situations. He doesn't have your traditional overhead low mix-up unless
No.
you're using someone like Scorpion, which you could go with the overhead sword, or you could go with low Eagly for a mix-up in that way.
He also has 2 grab strings that are on top of his 2 actual throws, and these grab strings are actual throws. You can't block them. You can block the two hits before them, but you cannot block the grab.
But you have mix-ups in different ways because he has 2-2-1+3.
Yep.
Where the ender is a true grab. So if they're ducking,
That's one of the ones
or
that I'm
they're
talking
stand
about.
blocking, he's gonna catch them. You have to stop blocking or jump in order to
Yep.
avoid that. But then you could also throw in 2-2 mid Eagly, and then it'll hit the opponent. If you have a cameo like I use with Kano, you could throw the knives and then still finish the combo.
Oh, the knives are brutal.
So
with,
he has
with,
mix-ups in that way.
Peacemaker for Kano.
He has some staggers. He has 1-2, which is +3 on block. Really, really good. He has a...
That's what you're going to start most of your Peacemaker combos with is 1-2 or a square triangle for those of you who are going, what the fuck are the numbers? It's 1 is square, 2 is triangle, 3 is X, 4 is circle for PlayStation.
Forward 4, which is a mid, right? I find that I get poked out of forward 4 a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like a true mid, but it's still a mid
Back
regardless.
4 and down.
But I do get
3
poked out
and-
of forward
no, back
4
4
quite
is
a bit, especially
a mid,
someone
though.
like waking up, pressing down 1, pressing buttons. But it's still a good combo string because you could stop it midway and you're going to be safe, or you could continue it till the ender, but you could cancel the ender. Forward 4, 1-2, you could cancel like the last part of it into mid Eagly, which you could cancel anything into the
Eagly.
mid Eagly and you're going to be safe. Because
Eagly
it's
is
minus
probably
on, I
his
think it's
best
minus
tool.
on block enough to be punished, but since he goes backwards, it's almost impossible to punish him. Not only that, but if you're using cameos like Stryker and you're using cameos like Kano, you're going to keep even more safety and even continue your pressure because of those specific cameos.
Yeah.
So
the cameos for Peacemaker are going to be very specific.
Is one of the best characters in the game for sure. I don't know if he's the best because he only has come out for a few days.
Yeah,
so
it's going to take a bit.
The unfamiliarity is still catching a lot of people off guard. So I think
but he's
there
definitely
needs to
going to be high
some
on
more
the tier
time
lists.
to pass by to see how successful Peacemaker is still going to be 2 weeks down the road, 3 weeks down the road.
Yeah.
But he's definitely one of the best characters in the game. He has everything you want in a character.
He's even got that
the
force
things that I
field.
mentioned before. Plus, he has insane damage.
Yes.
His damage is
heard
like
some combos performed that they've gotten up to like 60%, 70% using Fatal Blow. We're getting like MK11 spawn level combos with Peacemaker.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Especially if you're using Stryker.
Absolutely
For some
crazy.
reason, when you use Stryker, the scaling on combos gets ignored. And I really hope that they don't change this because we want to do a lot of damage.
No, make other characters do more damage, please. Like increase the hit damage on like everybody's moves.
You're using all your resources,
We
right?
want huge
you're using
damage. This
both
is
your
Mortal
Stryker
Kombat.
cameos that
Come on.
protect you when you're using the torpedo. So
The
you're using all
torpedo's
your
good, too.
resources. Yeah, you're only using a bar of meter, but the cameos are really important resources in MK1. So you're using all your resources. Plus, you actually have to hit somebody with a forward 4-1. So I really hope that they don't nerf his damage.
No.
Because it's one of the most fun things
Don't
about him
nerf
because the damage just
Peacemaker,
gets
don't
ignored
nerf
completely.
Peacemaker, buff everybody
so
else.
He does insane damage. I use him with Kano just because I knew that everyone's going to use him with Stryker. And you
Yeah.
could accomplish the same combos, the same thing with Kano. So I'm like, let me just use Kano because I haven't really used Kano as a cameo.
A lot of other people
but I'm gonna try him out with Stryker. I'm going to try him out with Scorpion, Cyrax, a couple of these other
Destroyer likes him with
characters
Kano as well.
that I want to try out playing Peacemaker. But he's a lot of fun. He has anti-zoning too with his reflect.
His force field, yeah.
I don't know what the
His
hell you
force
call
field
like
is
his
hard to
projectile
do.
invulnerability. He has that, so he could win the zoning
like
wars.
forward, down,
So
back, X.
Peacemaker is definitely one of the best characters in the game. In my opinion, I think he is the best DLC character that has come out so
Best
far.
DLC for
Omni-Man
sure.
was really good. Quan Chi was definitely not as far
Quan
as
Chi-
being.
if they better
if you're
not
talking
make
about
MK
comparing him with
characters
other
trash
characters tier list
compared
wise,
to the guest
Quan Chi was
characters.
definitely
If they
never
make
in the
Ermac,
top.
like,
He has
if
some
they
good
make
stuff,
Ermac
but he
shitty
also
and
had a lot of
Takeda
problems
shitty,
that came with
I'm
him.
gonna be pissed.
So Quan Chi was definitely not up there with characters like Omni-Man and Peacemaker,
No.
but I think with the fact that Peacemaker has a lot of safety, a lot of pressure, a lot of mix-ups, a lot of zoning, he pretty much has everything you want in a character. So I think he's better than Omni-Man, even though I did say in one of my videos that Omni-Man is better, but I think I was just salty because I was getting my ass whooped.
Omni-Man is
so I definitely think
he's
that Peacemaker
okay,
is better
like he's
than Omni-Man.
good, but he's got too many
He's the best
weaknesses
DLC character that's come out so far,
for-
and it's very surprising because
for
I mean
Omni-Man.
I really didn't think that Peacemaker. I never watched the shows. I did watch the second Suicide Squad movie where he comes out. He was definitely a standout for sure. John Cena just kills it in the role, man. He does amazing playing the Peacemaker role. But I never watched the show.
Honestly, John Cena's a better
So
actor
I
than
didn't
he
really
is a
expect
wrestler,
much. I was just like,
think.
all right, give me a fun character, and I'll be happy. But who knew that Peacemaker was going to have so much stuff to work with? Like, he is a ton of fun. The one time that I streamed Peacemaker on release day, I played him for 5 hours, and it didn't even feel like it. It felt
5
like I
hours.
played him for 2 hours. I was just having a ton of fun. So he's great, man. He's great. I'm very, very, very impressed and very happy with the DLC.
They did do a good job
characters
on him.
so far. Even Quan Chi, because, you know, even though he had gaps and everything,
They buffed
his
him.
combo potential is really fun. Obviously, you guys know I love Omni-Man. He has amazing
buffed
combos,
Quan Chi pretty
especially
nicely.
with characters like Scorpion, with Chameleon. He's a lot of fun. So I've been really impressed so far with the DLC characters that have dropped for MK1, which makes me even more excited because my boy Ermac is next.
Oh, Ermac
and
is
it's gonna
next.
be
Okay,
amazing.
cool. I was
because
right.
We
They're
didn't get
doing
him
MK.
we did not get him in
They're
MK11.
doing guest MK,
and
guest
he hasn't
MK,
been,
guest. So it'll be Omni-Man, Quan Chi, Peacemaker, Ermac, Homelander, Takeda. Yeah.
You know, obviously with Injustice, there's been a huge gap where I have not been able to play a new version of Ermac. I cannot wait. But
Yeah, it'll
how
be fun.
good is Peacemaker actually? Peacemaker is definitely
Very good.
one of the best characters in the game.
Even like I don't play him right now, I may try to go back and learn him a bit more. But from like just looking at him a little bit in the lab and fighting against him online, I do see that he has the potential to be a really strong character.
If I were to put him in a category, I would put him in S tier for sure.
Definitely
because he
S-tier.
has everything you want in a character, and not only that,
Definitely
but
way
he's
up
a
there.
ton of fun. So I will put him up there in the S tier category. One of the best characters in the game for sure. So I want to talk real quick about crossplay. Because crossplay was introduced with the Peacemaker update.
They did say that King of the Hill crossplay is coming in a later update, and I hope that it is a soon update, like with the first big balance patch update. I hope that they implement King of the Hill crossplay. I understand why they rolled it out the way they did, because they want to make sure that it's stable for 1v1 right now and ranked before they implement it for King of the Hill, because it's better if something breaks right now that they can fix like that little aspect of it instead of trying to fix everything. So I get that, but I hope that we don't have to wait super long.
I think crossplay so far has felt very smooth.
Yeah,
I haven't
me
really
too.
felt any difference as far as connections being worse or stuttering
I've noticed
problems.
a lot of
The only
idiot
thing
players though
that I have to say about crossplay that has been a negative has been the freezing issues. I have noticed more so after crossplay was introduced that the game just disconnects us from the server. My
Really?
game freezes for a long time, and
I haven't
that's
seen
been
that yet.
happening way more than I would like.
I think that happened to me
It's happened
once.
at least maybe 5 times more than it had before crossplay was introduced. So I'm pretty sure that it has to do with crossplay. So that's the only negative that I have about crossplay. But
Interesting.
for the most part, 95% of my matches have been really smooth. I've been having a lot of fun having a variety of opponents to fight from PC, PlayStation, and obviously I play on Xbox. I don't need to go to the PS5 and like play PS5 because I could just play crossplay in player matches and in combat league. So I definitely think crossplay has been a success so far because
yes. And I hope that the success of
the connections
crossplay
pretty much feel the same.
will make it
So
so that King of
if
the Hill
everything is
crossplay is
pretty
coming.
much the same, and then you add in the new pool of players, like a combined pool of players, I think it's a success. Because if it would have launched and it would have like disconnected you every 2 other matches and you would have had problems, then yeah, it would have been a disaster. But so
Yeah,
far,
I
I think
agree.
crossplay has been a success. But that's just my experience. Let me know what you guys have experienced playing crossplay on MK1. But so far for me, I've been enjoying it because we get that.
Yeah,
extra pool.
Super he's right in downtown Los Angeles, so yeah, he's definitely West Coast, so that's true. He may be more affected by that.
Players to pick from. So that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to do a quick video talking about my opinions on Peacemaker because a lot of people have been asking me, where do you think Peacemaker is on the tier list? I have no idea, but I mean, I have no idea in comparison to other characters that were top tier, like Sindel, Kenshi, characters like that.
Yeah, it's
but
too
as
early.
far as I'm concerned, he's definitely in the S tier.
Yeah, he's
category.
fucked compared to us.
So that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Thank you all so
entire
much for watching.
population of downtown LA is the entire population of our province. Jesus Christ, seriously? 15 million people live in downtown LA. Oh, that makes sense.
Watching, and I will see you guys next time.
And that is our transition video for our gaming. And now it's time to switch scenes. So I need to get out of chat for a moment. Hey, computer. Oh, do my headphones need to be charged? And that's why my computer's not talking to me now. There we go. Hey, hands, why are you still so freezing? Jesus Christ. Like, my hands are like ice, even though I've been shoving them under my legs this whole time. Okay, let's switch scenes here. Número 4.
PS5. Mortal Kombat 1.
We'll do a couple of quick ranked matches, and then I will jump into the Discord and hit up my opponent.
In a dark void. Mortal Kombat 1. Press the cross button. Campaign. Story.
Let's
Find
get
your
to
way
the end
through a
of chat.
cinematic story. Cross button confirm.
Go
Left
faster.
and right button select campaign mode. Up and down button change category. Touchpad button open combat card.
Are we almost there yet? Whee! Going to the end of chat.
Mortal Kombat 1. Campaign. Story. Fight your way through a cinematic story. Cross button confirm.
Are we almost
Left
there?
and right
Holy
button
crap.
select campaign mode. Up and down button change category.
Oh, we're
Touchpad
almost
button
there.
open combat card.
Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss chat. There we go.
Mortal Kombat 1.
Alright.
Campaign. Online. Retreat.
Let's warm this.
Rank.
Let's warm these
Combat
fingers
League.
up.
Compete in ranked matches and searching for
Warm
match.
these fingers up so
versus
I can
ranked.
play my
Circle
best
button
of 3
cancel.
match in Rips Arena. Rips Arena is a tournament that is completely online, and it is
Connecting match.
done
versus
completely community based. And it's 6
Opponent
weeks of
found.
qualifiers. You
Wireless
play.
connection.
You can play 3 times a week and earn points towards playing in their
Opponent
finale,
found.
and they start
Wireless
at
connection.
top 32. So you qualify for the best 32, and then you play best 32, best 16, best 8.
Your path
till the
leads
end.
only to darkness.
A Lin Kuei finds strength in the shadows.
Ooh, a Demon Sub-Zero. And I think I'm on the left.
Round 1. Fight.
Shit. Shit! Oh, why are my fingers all fucked up? There we go. He's got Kano this time. Oh. Fuck!
Kano stabs the victim's shoulders, then beams his eye lasers
He
through
got
their
through.
skull.
He got through.
Sub-Zero slides on ice shards which stab up through his victim's abdomen and skull. He then chops down with an ice wall hammer.
Oh. Yes. Oh no.
Sub-Zero wins.
Oh no! My cold hands! They've.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh. Oh. Oh shit. He's always going to do that. Oh shit. Oh no!
Finish.
Dude, what is with my hands? Why are they so cold?
Sub-Zero wins.
1 rewards. Connect overhead attacks. 25
Kids
seasonal
gloves from the
credits.
drawer.
Currency. Cross button
Could you
continue.
imagine me trying to play with gloves on?
Next
That would be
match.
funny. I need like grippy gloves. Those ones that are for touchscreens with the grippy fingers. Oh, Serena! Really? How dare you? Oh. Ah! Oh, fuck.
Sub-Zero wins.
Okay, Astral Project does not beat the slide.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, too far away. Fuck. I fucked up that combo again. Hello, I'm blocking up. Fuck.
Finish her. Sub-Zero wins.
1 rewards. Connect special moves.
Oh!
25
They
seasonal
did?
credits.
And you had no idea?
Currency.
That's kind of funny, sweetheart. I have to
Next
admit.
Bloody 192 has left. Find a new opponent. Retreat. Searching for match. Versus ranked. Circle button cancel. Connecting match. Versus ranked. Opponent found. Wireless connection. Cross button accept. Circle button decline. Opponent found. Wireless connection.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more match and then I'll hit up my opponent.
The Order of Light will capture Quan Chi. When you do so, turn him over to me.
Melina! Come on, fingers.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh. Oh, she blocked it. Does he have Darius? Ah! Oh shit.
Mylena wins.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, command grab. Back throw. Fuck! Oh. There we go. Getting a little bit better here. Oh, she got me for the brutal.
Outward didn't need you.
Brutality.
Damn, Melina.
Melina wins.
Don't gotta be so nasty.
Next match.
You don't gotta be so mean. Outworld didn't need you. Shit.
Round 1. Fight.
There we go. Now my combos are happening. Oh, back throw.
Mylena wins.
Shit.
Round 2. Fight.
Ah, I had back. I said back R1, not just R1. Oh shit. Oh man. All the throws. Shit.
Brutality. Melina.
A building in your childhood you must have walked past 1,000,000 times and you just realized that they repainted it.
Next opponent. Cross button confirm. Up and down button. Navigate. Profile level 97. Are you sure you want to? Player 2. Friendly
No, I gotta go. Sorry.
Play. 33 Sanchez has left the... Find a new opponent. Retreat. Searching for match. Versus ranked. Circle button cancel. Can't. Retrieving calendar. Ranked. Combat League. Compete in ranked matches and earn seasonal rewards. Season of the Huntress. 41 days. Cross button confirm. Left and right button select rank mode. Up and down button change category. Options button change team. Square button view leaderboard. Triangle button rank rewards. Circle
Okay.
button back.
There we go. Now we just have to wait for the invite. And I will sit with my hands under my legs to warm them up just a little bit more. Because you know what it is? It's probably because I forgot to put my socks on after my shower. Because the windows are open and it's not like, it's not cold, but it's not warm.
New notification.
There we go.
New game invite. Press the PS button for details. Message from Montserrat. Invited you to play Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay, here we go.
Retreat.
Here's our match.
Versus
our
private.
first match in our qualifier for Rips Arena.
Opponent found. Wired connection. Choose fighter. Player 2. Ashra. Choose cameo.
Sector.
The Great Hall.
The Great
Okay.
There are many kinds of demons?
Smoke and
The worst
Sector.
are the Anenra.
Now, these smoke players in tournament are always pretty crazy. Oh. Good shit. Good shit. Do I have breaker yet?
Smoke wins. Smoke wins.
Go up in smoke.
Round 2. Fight.
He's got the Just Nasty cancels going here. Fuck! Oh shit, he's even got the parry going. And the extended sector combo, and I couldn't break! Because I broke already? Fuck.
Smoke wins.
These smoke players in tournament, man, they have their cameos.
Rematch.
Their cancels crisp.
Round 1. Fight.
Ah! I started off okay. I jumped right into that. Okay, so my grab isn't working. Fuck! These cancels are crisp, man.
You should have gone for brown.
Round 2. Fight.
Fuck, that's a high. That's not a fucking high or low. Stupid. Hey, break. Fuck. I tried to astral project and then go at him, but it didn't work. Okay.
Smoke wins.
This is what I get for only doing 2 warm-up matches. And with cold hands.
Round 1. Fight.
Holy fuck, how does my down forward 3 not happen? So he's blocking all of my shit. That's the problem. And I'm not blocking enough for him.
Round 2.
Or for his shit.
Fight.
Fuck! Oh, fuck off! Ugh.
Finish her. Smoke wins.
Fucking hell, man.
Rematch. Are you sure you want?
Fucking hell, man.
Retreat.
That was pathetic.
Ranked. Combat League. Compete in ranked matches and earn seasonal rewards.
That was
Season of the
absolutely
Huntress.
pathetic.
41 days. Cross button confirm.
That's
Left
what
and
that's
right
what you
button.
get for
Select
trying to
rank
play
mode.
after a fucking
Up and down
5-minute
button.
warm up,
Change.
but oh
Cat.
well.
Rank. Searching for match. Versus ranked.
I've been
Retreat. Ranked. Combat League.
Well, I guess
Compete in
it's time
ranked
to
matches
end.
and earn seasonal rewards. Season of the Huntress. 41 days.
That was
Cross
awful.
button confirm.
So next
Left and
time,
right
no
button.
warming up
Select
for
rank
10 minutes.
mode.
I actually have to
Up and down
fucking
button.
warm up
Change
properly.
category. Options button. Change team.
Because that was
Square button.
disgusting.
View leaderboard. Triangle button.
So,
rank rewards.
yeah. I
Circle
will.
button back.
I'm gonna go and I will be back for stream tomorrow. And next time I do an event like that, I'm warming up at 12:30. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. See you later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everybody.